Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
It is the time, your favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews and your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. What's up, Broncos country? Welcome to the second edition of the Fan Appreciation episode. Jared, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. That last weekend of playoff football, man, I wish we were there, but you know what? We're not. But we're here to have a lot of fun with our fans, show some respect, appreciate everybody that's been following us and watching along. We wouldn't be here without you guys, so we threw together a second year of giving back to you guys, and that's why we're here. So thanks for joining along for the ride. And after our 6th year, Kevin, it's been 6 years.
6 years. And I mean, thinking back to where we were happy where we had 5 people watching us, like,
Yes.
Oh, we had 5 viewers, like, yay. And here we are 6 years later.
With 6 viewers.
With 6, you know what? It's progress. It's progress. But hey, everyone who's watching, make sure you stick around. We got some awesome guests to include Carl, who, if you remember, you may not know his name, but I think you probably definitely saw his picture. He was a Lions fan at the Detroit game, holding up the sign saying, today we're all Broncos country, in honor of DT. So we'll have him on. He'll be our first guest. We're also going to have Brandon Perna. We all know him. Jeff Legwold, the Broncos ESPN reporter, and Mile High Mario as well. So those are our 4 guests. You're going to want to make sure you stick around and have a chance to ask them some questions, in addition to a ton of giveaways we're going to be doing throughout the show. So if you guys like free Broncos stuff, make sure you stick around, and we'll be doing that. So tons of stuff going on, and glad you're all here with us today. Jared, anything else before we bring on the crew?
No, let's go ahead and introduce the crew. Do a quick in order of seniority, I guess. First up is
I was gonna go looks, but okay, because I was gonna go Ayla first.
Yeah, so we're going looks. Ayla's up first for sure. Ayla, how are you doing?
Hey guys, nice to be back again. Second fan appreciation show. Woo!
Yes. Super exciting. Next up in looks is I'm going to make you choose this because now I'm going to get in trouble if I
because they're
wrong.
both sitting there. They're both sitting there going, "Wait, am I the next one up?" I don't know. I'm going to go David.
Wow.
David.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Surprise.
There's the height thing that came into play here.
The height thing.
Yeah.
Some facial hair too, but it's a different thing. Hey, what's up, guys? Really good to be here. Really good to be celebrating Fan Appreciation Night once again. Excited to give away some swag.
And then next up, obviously, we got John. Why look so disappointed?
This is rigged. I don't like where this is going. I don't like it. No, what's going on? Super happy to be here. This is my first show as part of the team was last year. 1 year today. So super excited to still be here, and it's just gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going.
Yep. We have one other. He's having some connectivity issues. He'll be up here in a second, Mr. Rob. So here we are, guys. I mean, 6 years. I think it's kind of crazy to think about where we're going to be in another 6 years. You know,
I can't like probably on the moon somewhere. Talking about the Broncos' first game from the Sea of Tranquility, where the NFL will have probably about 3 stadiums. They'll probably have some teams on the moon by then, I would think.
Yes,
6 years.
I also think we'll be talking about 6 years straight of Broncos playoff appearances, so that'll be nice.
I love it.
You know, more of a happy feeling.
I wasn't talking that extreme of fantasy, and then you just kind of went a little bit off the rails, a little bit unrealistic there.
Sorry, I went a little sci-fi there. That's my bad.
Bring it back down to reality here.
Oh man, thank you guys all for joining us. This is awesome. Welcome, Glenn. Everybody, we're saying some people with a Facebook user, sorry if we're not getting your names up there, but definitely appreciate you guys being here and sticking around with us. We'll be getting to some giveaways here in a little bit, and some of these guest speakers that we have are super exciting to talk to, and I hope they brought their A game, because we're going to be firing with some crazy questions.
Crazy
questions. Some stuff. Absolutely, it's going to be amazing.
All the crazy questions. So, I guess we'll go ahead and get right into it, Kev. Carl here, you go. You do the instruction for Carl. You got this.
Yeah. So once again, and I thought I had his picture ready. I don't, but I'm sure we all saw the picture that was circulating, and I don't know what's up with Rob's internet. It's not letting him click back on here, but the picture that went viral, you know, the week that DT passed away, Broncos country was incredibly devastated. And it was, you know, we talked about how it was so fantastic, whether you were at the game or not, to see Broncos country coming together. And something that really transcends just, you know, the rivalry of the game on the sport, but seeing just football fans in general coming together, and to see Carl here, and I'll go ahead and bring him up. Carl was the gentleman who had the sign that said, "Today we're all Broncos country," you know, wearing his Lions stuff. And that really spoke to just the type of guy he is, and two, what it means to be a football fan, and coming together and supporting, you know, not only the fan base, but you know, the players, DT's family, all that stuff. Right. So there you go. Carl, that's the picture. And you know, I know you were on other maybe TV shows and stuff. I think you were interviewed, but you know, from our standpoint, we talked about it, and we talked about that picture and how meaningful it was to have that kind of support, because it was just such a tragedy for somebody like DT to pass away as suddenly as he did. So I don't know. I think the first question is, you know, kind of tell us about yourself. You know, we talked a little bit before the show, but then also just what drove you to making that sign and everything, man.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm as you could tell from the photo, I'm a Detroit fan from the Detroit area. Grew up there, you know, most of my life. Moved to Denver in May, so haven't been here too long. Work opportunity with my girlfriend's work opportunity brought us out here. So, do live in the downtown area now. Rode our bikes to that game. So real close. Loving the Denver area. And yeah, I was just really excited that it just so happened this year that my team, you know, was coming to play in Mile High Stadium or in Power Field, and was really excited for the game. The Demarius news, you know, really struck a chord with me. I knew that he was kind of one of those players where you never heard a bad thing about him. You never saw any of the players, you know, say a bad thing about him. His teammates loved him. And so I just felt like it was something. I figured I'd get a little bit of heckling. I had planned on wearing the Lions onesie and my jersey, and I said, you know, I don't want it to be about any of the away Lions fans. I knew that day was going to be, you know, more about DT. And I got to give a ton of credit to my girlfriend for making it all happen. Two things. One, that happened to be my birthday weekend. My birthday was the day before the game. We were supposed to have like top tier third level seats, nosebleeds. Mm-hmm. And she upgraded our seats to about the third row without telling me. So
wow.
That's probably another reason I got picked up with the sign. We were naturally a little hungover.
Yeah, it would have been hard to read up there.
Yeah, exactly. They probably would have never found me up there. So we were a tad bit hungover, I'll admit, after birthday celebrations the night before. We're planning on riding in. I'm like, I just getting the sign and drawing it all out and everything seems like, is it even worth it? She goes, you wanted to do it, let's do it. So she forced me to stop at the King Soopers on the way, grab the sign, she packed the markers, and I drew it up in the parking lot, and was super proud of my letter spacing, by the way, in that sign. Let me tell you. I mean,
I'll tell you, I definitely could not make it look that pretty.
No,
sure.
Like hungover or not, like forget it.
I know. So I was proud of that. That was my moment. Sketched it out a little bit, and yeah, we got everything to fit. But yeah, I took it in, and really, it was. I never could.
Is that her right there tucked in? Is that her all tucked in right there?
Let me see. This is that just on my left, right of the picture,
armpit.
the short one. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
there she
is. Let's give
she's
credit.
4'11". You
Way
can't
to
see
go.
there. She's wearing all of her Washington football team. She's a Washington football team fan, so she's rebelling there as well. But yeah, so never could have imagined the response, and it really didn't hit me how much DT meant to this city until I started to meet the fans. Broncos country, just everyone I met that day was incredible. I mean, from security to people in the stand to concessions, the number of people that stopped me and the sign just lit up their day. I mean, that's when it really hit me hard, how much he meant to this city. I could have never imagined that. The number of people like Kev yourself that reached out and found me on all the social media websites and dropped messages even though they didn't know me or anything like that. It was absolutely incredible. So huge kudos to all of Broncos country. It was amazing. And the tribute and everything was great. So yeah, I was blown away by the support, but I felt like DT deserved it, and it was an honor just to be part of that day, to remember his legacy. They did the tribute, and they never put me on like the jumbo screen in the stadium. Right. So I had no idea until about like the third or fourth quarter what was going to. I don't know if you can see in that picture. There was a couple maybe 19, 20-year-old guys that were sitting behind me. They must have been on Twitter or something like that. They tapped on my shoulder and they're like, yo, you're like, there's videos and stuff on you, like CBS just played it. So yeah, it was pretty funny because the first people that spoke to me were 4 rows behind, and they said, you better not have that damn sign up during the field of play.
Yeah.
So I don't think they saw. I don't think they saw what it said at first. So I promised them. I said I won't have it up during play. So I only put it up during intermission times. But yeah, it was a really fun day. It was incredible.
That's such a football thing of like. No matter what team, like
just
somebody was going to be like, you better not have that damn sign up.
Yeah. Well, my favorite, I think my favorite was I had just gotten through security, and there was 2 young guys that came up. I'm pretty sure to heckle me or say something about because with I had a tail literally out the back of my jersey with the lion ones on. Easy target. They came up with something to say. They saw the sign, read the sign. And they just hugged me. Like they didn't say anything. They just said, dude. And they both gave me a huge hug. And even that, just to start it like that, like 3 steps into the stadium to have the fans, treat me that way. It was amazing.
Now, Carl, I got a question. Did you leave the stadium with the tail, or did somebody do a little before you left?
I left the stadium with the tail. Left the stadium and the sign. Rode down to is it Racy's, the brewery that's just outside, and unfortunately with the sign didn't make it even all the way through the night with the bike riding, and it was just a paper sign. So yeah, it was So and we had plenty of drinks and celebration. Yeah, plenty of libations. So
Yeah.
The same.
What were the logistics of the tail on a bicycle? Because I imagine if it gets caught up,
These are the hard-hitting questions we're here for. These are the hard-hitting questions.
Why you came.
Exactly. Had to tuck it up into the. Thankfully, the jersey I was wearing was pretty snug. So, but yeah, if anyone else was at that game, they know that it was unseasonably warm. It was like 65 degrees. So by the end of the game, I was almost naked under that onesie. I was sweating through the dang thing. So yeah, it was a very interesting game, but ton of fun.
So Carl, you and I actually share something similar. I had a similar story happen when I went to the Broncos game in 2018 against the Texans. I actually made a sign that said "Hi, Mom" on it because my mom couldn't make the trip, and that wound up on the Broncos website holding that sign. So there was a picture, and I didn't find out until we were at the airport, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, let me go through the pictures of the game. Maybe I made it in the crowd, and I was the very last picture, and I couldn't believe it. Like I printed it out. My mom printed it out. It was awesome. So, that was a class act thing for you to do, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So Carl, you said you got reached out by a lot of people, like news. I know you were on the news, the local news a couple times. Like what was the biggest reach out that you got that you were like, what, like because of a sign? Like was there ever like a level of like all this because of a sign?
Yeah, definitely. So I didn't do any. This is the only interview that I've done in terms of like, no one really reached out for like an interview or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
If they put me up on the news channels, I didn't know about it.
It's probably just the
they
picture.
It's probably, yeah. I think it hit. It hit like a couple of the CBS pages for both the teams, and probably NFL memes. They put something up on both Facebook and Instagram, I think, and those got. I think that's where a lot of people got the picture from and spread it about. That's where I started, like my friends from Detroit started.
I mean, it just meant so much because like that day for all of us, like even the show afterwards, we were just like cutting onions here, and everybody. Yeah. David still is. I don't even want to talk.
Yeah, the emotion. I mean, you could fit. It wasn't even in the stadium. It was. It's tough to explain to people that weren't there, but in the stadium, it was even more. I mean, if you were watching,
like you get like you have goosebumps. Yeah. You just like.
If you were, and I'm sorry for all the Broncos fans that this is going to trigger, but yeah, if you were watching on TV, it was one thing, but to like the interception and the team taking it to the logo and all the little stuff in between, the TV timeouts where you could just, there was like an energy in the stadium. It was like a murmur. It was, and the sun was shining down. It was such an incredible day. So,
I mean, yeah, all the things that lined up with 88 that day, there was just so many things that, even not at the stadium, you just were like, this is absolutely incredible.
I had some people reach out and try to offer me, money or to Venmo me things, or I think another gentleman offered me tickets to another game in another season if I wanted them, and I was like, it was literally just an honor to be part of the day, because it was that powerful. So it doesn't happen very often.
We super appreciate it. It was a really cool thing to do, man.
Yeah.
One of the, I think the classic.
And are you like a teeny bit of a Broncos fan now?
100%. 100%. We went to 2 games this year, and so it was again, I love the field, love being close, love being in a city that loves their football and knows their football, like Broncos country too.
Across the city.
Yeah.
I've got very little hope for my Lions on a week-to-week basis. So
hey, they're getting better, bro.
Don't worry, not a lot changes on this side, at least not last year.
You gotta hold out hope, man.
Nothing like the Lions to throw away the first pick of the draft in the last year of the season.
Well, hey, Carl, do your favor and get Aaron Rodgers out of your division. That's what everyone's hoping for, anyways.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. It is time, unfortunately, for us to move on. Carl, seriously, thanks a lot for joining us today, man. It's great talking to you. Thanks for responding and spending the time with us.
Super appreciate you, man.
Thank
Cheers
you so much.
Carl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
Cheers.
you guys.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
Thanks again.
And
Appreciate you.
We'll hopefully see some of you guys next year for another game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, take care, buddy.
Thanks, all.
Thanks.
Go on.
Okay, guys,
Man.
it is time for our first giveaway.
Whoa.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulty. My fault.
We'll forgive you this time.
Yeah, you can see Jared
So
today.
we have a couple giveaways, and everyone stick around because up next is Jeff Legwold from ESPN, the Broncos reporter. So he'll be joining us for a little bit and be able to maybe pick his brain a little bit about some things going on. So, but Jared, if you want to be the first today, my hat off to you, sir, to start off the giveaway.
Okay, so we'll start off the giveaway. So I don't have one with me. So what I have. Hold on. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm a big visor fan. So we're gonna be giving away a visor. I'm not gonna give you one of mine. What I'll do is you guys choose something from NFL Shop. Because as we know, we've gone over this, there is such things as men's visors, not such things as men's puffballs. So we'll go ahead and give away a men's visor to whoever.
But not that visor.
Well, I mean, you could probably get it if you really want this visor. If you really want this one, it's a limited edition. It's not
Limited edition. Okay, all right. Wake me up when Jared's visor nonsense is
Oh
over.
my gosh, where's the all BS son?
Right, yeah.
Desiree,
Team visor,
that's what I'm
baby.
talking about. Thanks, Desiree.
All right. So Team Visor. You know, it's funny. I didn't think of a question other than just excited to give away a visor. So
Okay.
let me see if I can think of a question real quick.
Jared, we went through this whole thing when I had to think of a question before the show, and you berated me for not having one prepared.
Did. Well, it was the 2 and 2 thing. You didn't put 2 and 2 together, and neither did I apparently.
Sure, but
Call in the pot black, or however it says.
So this is what I want, and it might turn up a couple stories, right? And I don't want like long, just like 2 or 3 sentences. Your favorite part of this season, and what you enjoyed about this season the most of Broncos country. You know, we're 5 years in while you guys are typing that out. Just a reason why we're 5 years removed from the playoffs. It's been kind of tough. You want to stay positive. I mean, I was counting mathematically eliminated until like week 15, which was unfortunate. And then we had a whole like thing for burying my calculator. But what was your favorite part of this season? I know what mine is, and something that kind of happened recently. And if it matches mine, well, you'll get a visor. So go ahead and give me your favorite part of what happened this season, the things that happened this season, and then we'll go there.
Hey,
Urban
shout
Meyer
out to
kicking
my buddy
Josh
Kevin. What's up, dog?
Oh man. Yeah.
Honoring DT, I definitely appreciate that one. Yeah, that Urban Meyer thing. Talk about like two just like franchises in disarray.
Right.
Like, what a crazy
Urban
between
Meyer's
Jacksonville and Las Vegas.
Jared, I was hoping that your question was going to be whoever could or not predict, but guess the correct length of your mustache at the moment.
Oh, so I trimmed it. I'm trimming it.
Bonus hat to anybody who uses
trimmed
the
it
term wispy.
With
Like
what,
anybody.
a Barbie razor? Like,
First of all, Mila's razors are sharper than mine. Second of all, Mila's my daughter.
why does Mila have razors?
That's a question that
probably we're going too far into this. Don't read into
All
it.
right. Did you really trim it? That's adorable.
Yeah. So I'm trying to grow it back like thicker, and right now it's just like some hairs are growing longer. We're in a backstage kind of conversation. Look, we have people that we're trying to
appreciation show right now. You can talk about
fan
it.
appreciation. This is where we're going. So let's see.
I like the derail. It's fun.
Yeah, the tribute to DT. Watching Vaughn give Brady a bloody lip. That's funny.
That's beautiful.
Glenn, I do like the rookie class. I like that. I think that's a big piece of this.
I got 2 words. Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby. That was
that
a lot of fun for us specifically, but not the rest of the fan base.
SportsCenter and ESPN made a meme with my joke with Brady with his bloody lip, and it was
really?
the same thing. Yeah, from Zoolander. Like, you made me bleed my own blood. No one makes me bleed my own blood. And I did it 6 years ago when we trashed his arm. So like. Yes. Sometimes I'm funny, guys.
Got him.
Got him. Burn.
PS2 pick 6. That was a huge. Oh yeah, at the Detroit game. That was and again going to the 88. That was a huge piece. Team celebrated life of DT. Defense taking the ball to the Marcus sideline. Love watching the defense step up. 58 was traded. And I think that's the big one. I think Andrew, you might have to be Team Visor now because I don't know if you are. Tell me if you're Team Visor, Andrew. But I think the biggest one is the way that the defense and the team kind of rallied. First of all the best to Vaughn. The fact that Vaughn's doing so well with the Rams. I think he had his best playoff game, including Super Bowl 50. Last week, I think he had 2 sacks. I know it wasn't like strip sacks, but he had a bunch of
9 pressures or something like that.
9 pressures, a couple tackles for losses. He really was stepping up. Super happy for him, but I do like how everybody stepped up, and then Simmons led the group, stepped up to the 88. So Andrew, we'll reach out to you. You win the visor of your choice from NFL Shop. Unless you want this one, I guess you could have this one too.
Well, no, I don't know, Jared. That's limited edition. Yeah,
it is limited edition. It's got a number on it somewhere.
Jared, you might want to check the last comment from Andrew.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's do that. I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you, guys. Let's go through then.
Right there.
Yep. Let's see.
He's trying to tell you he's not Team Visor, by the way.
Yeah,
that's not
a message that you should have gotten. Because who is? I mean, there are some people, but.
All right,
I mean,
so I think I saw
a really cool, old sweaty golf visor. If anybody wants that one too.
I kind of like the Urban Meyer kicking Josh Lambo comment. That was hilarious.
that is pretty funny.
Here we go.
So visors for life. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Dez. I appreciate you.
What's up, Dez?
It is
Dez, I'm glad that you're here. I'm not glad that you made your presence known with that particular tournament.
Give it to David.
Give it to David. See what happens. Find out what happens if you're going to give it to David.
Well, let's do this. Busto1299. We'll hit you up on the on YouTube, or hit us up on our Facebook or Instagram. That PS2 pick 6 was definitely top. So, because we got to move on. Andrew, I appreciate you pushing off, and thanks for being such a good sport about that. All right, Kev, over to you.
Awesome. So for me, mine's going to be.
Hold on. It's not Ayla's turn, but we got to bring this one back.
We got to get it framed.
It's more of a. It's not a page. It's if you were to print it out,
it's a whole website.
You guys, oh my gosh.
I got here this Broncos tumbler with a personalized name. So if you guys want to go ahead and list out who your favorite Bronco is and why, and try and avoid the Elway, the Vaughn, the Manning, somebody else.
Non-Hall of Famer.
Yeah, non-Hall of Famer. There you go. Or future Hall of Famer, like Vaughn.
Extra points if your name's Rachel.
Yeah.
There you go. If your name is Rachel.
Rachel.
If your name is Rachel, then this is a really easy one.
It's a personalized mug if your name's Rachel. If not, it's just a mug named Rachel.
Well, no, just then you know exactly what this looks like if your name is Rachel. So
go ahead. Change the name, you guys.
Who is your favorite Bronco and why? And then give you about a minute to type that out before we pick a winner, so we can get our next guest up on here.
I'm very excited.
There's just so many good ones. And does it have to match what you're thinking in your head, Kev, or you're just gonna pick a really good one?
I'm just gonna pick a pretty good one.
That's a good one, Tim Tebow, because he got shafted.
I like Dez's comment because I want to go that way.
Yeah, this one is so far.
That would be an epic wedding. I do love this one.
Yes, invite. Wait, Des. Wait, Desiree, is it an open bar? That's my question.
I think either way. I mean,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's see. Javante's going to get if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to get a big paycheck in a couple of years. So I think we'll be good.
Let's be real, guys. If that wedding was BYOB, we would all still be going.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
Even if it was you had to pay a cover charge, if there was a door charge, we would probably still go.
Come on.
I'd live stream it. I don't care.
Bradley Van Pelt, just 10 years ahead of the run option package. Okay.
Man,
you see Drake here. The first player he fell in love with was Eddie Royal.
Number 19.
Oh, I love Eddie Royal. That's a good yes. I give that one a big applause.
You know what, Drake? I might Well,
there's no you got to go or got go.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with this
Really
one, Drake.
sick,
I'm surprised. I don't see any Rod
Drake.
Smith. I don't see any.
I got you on that one, Drake.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give this prize to you, man.
Drake.
I love that.
So
Man,
Drake,
YouTube with the wins today.
Yeah, YouTube is coming big.
Clutch.
If you're winning one of these prizes, send us a message on. I'm gonna write down your names too, but send us a message on Facebook or something.
I got it, Kev. I'm typing them all.
You got it.
Facebook,
Awesome.
Instagram,
And
or Twitter,
I'm
I
writing
think
with
is
a
the DMs.
Sharpie, Kev, so I got it too.
Okay. Well, send us a message saying, "Hey, I won this prize" or whatever, and we'll get in touch with you. We'll get your address and everything. So we'll go from there. But awesome, Drake! Congrats on winning this. And it won't say Rachel on it. We'll make sure it says Drake or whatever else you want it to
Whatever
say
you
on
want. You tell us
it. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. So thank you for joining, Drake. Okay, it is time for guest number 2 before we get back to some giveaways here. Let's welcome to the stage probably the coolest guest I think we've ever had, next to
By far.
Carl we had a second ago. Mr. Jeff Legwold from ESPN. How you doing, Jeff?
What's up, Jeff?
Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming, Jeff.
Welcome.
Really appreciate you.
How we doing?
Oh man. Oh,
Good, man. I
having
feel
a
like we're
great
in the
night.
big leagues. We're in the big leagues now. We got ESPN
I know, right?
reporters on our show. Man.
It's the whole thing, right? Oh man.
Well, Kev, you ask, I'm in.
Well, I
That's what we
appreciate
like
it.
to
I
hear.
do.
Kev's that kind of draw. He really has that power, that charisma that you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jeff, what you don't know is Kev's number 2 speed dial is you. He just doesn't use it often.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's fact.
absolutely.
It's a fact.
Oh, man. All right, so anybody who wants to have the first question for Jeff?
I'll start with one. And Jeff, you were kind enough to come on a preseason show with Jared and I.
Yes, thank you
And you
again.
gave us quite a bit of time that day and answered a lot of questions. And one that really stuck out for me was what you thought of Javante Williams and how highly you spoke of him before the season. And I think all of Broncos country saw those words borne out. What do you think about his future potential as far as this team goes? Is the sky the limit for him right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're in a spot where a lot of teams have sort of devalued the position in some ways, but with the offense they want to run, all of the head coaching candidates they've interviewed with an offensive background all have ties to the Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak offense, play action. He's going to be a big part of what they want to do moving forward because whatever decision they make, they've made it really clear they want to run that offense. And he fits that perfectly. One-cut runner, decisive, gets up the field. I think they have big plans for him. And it's not all that common for a team to trade up in the second round. Usually teams are patient. They'll say, all right, we'll just wait. We'll wait for our guy and not give up any pick. But when you trade up in the second round or even the third, you're pretty adamant you want that player and you're concerned that you're not going to get him. So when they traded up to get him, you could tell that they had very big plans. And, all he had to do was, I think it was his Virginia Tech game last year. His last year at North Carolina was just a broken tackle festival. So you could see that then. The only issue with a runner, high contact runner like that is, sort of how long a movie is it going to be? That's a hard way to earn a living.
Absolutely.
But they have big plans for him. He works hard. People talked about Pat Surtain's maturity, was off the charts for a rookie. Javante wasn't far behind, and I think that's ultimately it is about the physical skills, but a lot of making it in the league. The physical difference between the players isn't that great, but it's really the guys with the mentality and the work ethic who carve out a career.
Yeah.
Jeff, I think you'll second me when I say this, but Javante Williams to me runs in comparison to like Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson used to just put his head down and just bowl people over. Is that a fair comparison for Javante Williams?
Yeah, it's. I think it is. I think Javante may even be a little more sort of impact, on the defender at at the point of attack. But it's a very fair. Bobby Turner, the former running back coach here with the Broncos, he's been in the league forever, and a lot of those guys who succeeded with the Broncos who were late round picks or undrafteds, guys like Mike Anderson, Reuben Drones, Tatum Bell, a lot of those people succeeded because Bobby Turner, sort of had an eye, and he always told me decisiveness is really key if you're going to succeed in that offense. And Mike Anderson had that. Every guy who's run well in that offense has that, and Javante Williams has that.
Man, I forgot about Reuben Drones. He was awesome.
I just saw Reuben. I just saw Reuben not too long ago. He's doing really well.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, tell him everybody in Broncos country still loves him.
There you go. Hey, there are a lot of questions about the coaching search and everything. We'll get to that, but I do like this one here first. Glenn, as a Hall of Fame voter, do you see Randy making it in secondarily? What is that presentation day like? So, any thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, a little behind the scenes on how that Hall of Fame voting goes.
He's in the seniors pool, so that's the difficulty now. Once you've been a modern era candidate for 20 years, you go in the senior pool, and only one candidate comes out of that immense pool every year, and that's the difficulty. My hope is continually that Randy will get in, and that if he can get back in the room again and discussed as a finalist, you got to be in it to win it.
He's got a strong case.
So he's got to get back in that room, and that process can take a minute. I mean, in the senior pool alone, I think there are 65 all-decade players. So that tells you the difficulty in all of that. But he is. I've always contended he's one of the 2 or 3 most decorated players in the senior pool. So he was discussed. He's been discussed every year, in the cut down. So my hope always is that he will eventually make it, and that he will see it happen. I see Randy every home game, and I've talked to him a ton, and I know it wears on him sometimes because it's a tough process.
Yeah. He's got as strong a case as anybody. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and for nobody from that defense to be in, I mean,
right.
Every signature, the 70s were kind of the golden era of defense in the league's history.
How many members of the Steel Curtain are in there?
Yeah, I think there are 5 of the Steel Curtain are in. I think there are 4 or 5 of Doomsday. I think there are 4 of the Purple People Eaters. I mean, to be 0 for the Orange Crush. And
crazy.
I've told the story on a personal level. Randy was one of the players. I was on the blue ribbon panel that picked the Centennial class for the Hall of Fame, the 100-year anniversary class, and he was discussed for a long time. We met for 2 days in Canton to make those picks, and
wow.
I remember Broncos country was really anticipating that was a real chance.
Yeah, and I've told people given the discussion in the room and who was in the room, there were coaches and general managers and Hall of Famers and some media. It was a pretty select group, and he was one of the most discussed candidates. So again, there is support there. It's just, again, it's a super frustrating process for the guys when they're in it, and there's no way around it. The Hall of Fame board of directors, they make the process. They like it this way. They like it to be difficult, and it certainly is.
Yeah.
So in the last few minutes, obviously, this is something that everyone wants to know right now because we're all impatient. But what is your take on everything going on with the Broncos head coaching search?
Well, they'll interview a couple more guys a second time. I believe Quinn will come in before the week is out. They cannot talk to O'Connell this week because the team's in the championship game, and there may be another second interview in there, but knowing George Payton and how he's approached the draft and scouting and the rest of it, they won't cut the process off because somebody has a great second interview. At least I think right now that's where it stands. I think he's going to take the process through to the end and talk to everybody they want to talk to and go from there. Because it is a big decision. You can't keep switching head coaches every 2 or 3 years and think you're going to have continuity in your organization. It's just not the way to do business.
It seemed to happen a little fast the last time, so probably should appreciate the process being extended and thought out a little bit more. So
you're right there. I mean, 10 candidates is a lot. I'm not sure any other team has spoken to that many candidates for their coaching opening.
And it's, George Payton in such an interesting position because he's the continuity on this team right now. A guy who's been here for a year is going to a new head coach with a new owner on the back end. It's going to be really, really interesting to see because he's got a lot of power in his hands right now, and a lot of consequences are going to ripple from that decision.
Yeah, he's definitely got the keys. You know, it doesn't matter who the owner is. I mean, sure, a new owner could move on, but George Payton's getting paid for 5 more years. So
right.
Yeah, true.
That's a pretty big decision to make. So he's got the proverbial juice and he's making the decision too. I don't think people should be confused about that. He will speak to everyone and get their thoughts, but he will ultimately make the decision.
Jeff, I got a quick question for you. So in the initial interviews, who do the coaches actually interview with? Because from what I've read, it sounds like the second interviews are with George Payton himself. So who are these coaches speaking to beforehand? Is it Joe Ellis? Is it John Elway?
Well, they had a small committee of folks who made the trips. It was George Payton, Rich Hurtado, who does their contracts, was in the group. A couple people from personnel were in the group. It was 5 or 6 people, and then both Elway and Ellis, I believe, sat in most or all of the interviews on Zoom. So they didn't actually make the trips, but they could at least view the interview. So they had several people there. Usually you want somebody from the contract side, somebody from personnel. Sometimes teams will take their media person just to sit in and see how somebody frames their answers, things like that. So they, usually it's 5 or 6 people. And then the second interview, usually they break it off. Payton and others would meet more one-on-one with the candidate. And that would be another chance for them to take the game video and discuss personnel. Because like say, when Bieniemy interviewed or O'Connell or, they had a game coming up, they're not going to go look at the Broncos personnel for 2 days and get their thoughts because they got a playoff game happening. So a second interview is kind of your chance to say, this is what I think of your roster. This is what I would do with these guys. Here's what I think fits schematically, those type of things, and get deeper into, okay, what's your staff going to look like? Because, frankly, if you don't have a good answer for coordinators, especially, you're probably not getting the job.
Yeah.
Appreciate the answer, Jeff. Like I said, I've just always been curious about that.
Oh yeah, it's extensive. I mean, it's a big decision for an organization, and they've made it pretty clear what they're looking for. I think Bieniemy was the oldest candidate they interviewed, and I think he's 52 or 53. So that tells you they were, they want in that 35 to 52 zone somewhere. Out front.
Yeah. So Jeff, Joey asks Ray Jackson. Was he involved in a lot of this?
Ray was involved. Yep. Ray sure was. Ray's got an important job with the team. They call it player development, but probably no single person in the building deals more with the players' day-to-day sort of stuff than Ray Jackson does. So, Ray would always be part of, or a person in that position would always be part of the interviews because he knows the players in some ways the best. So, if a candidate has a question about individual players and And he knows what the players respond to too, with how a coach interacts. George Payton can go to him later and say, "What'd you think? How do you think this guy would interact with our guys?"
Yeah.
Which has to be such a super important part of what we're looking for next.
Head coach is, you're running the show. It's a big, a coordinator job or a position coach. That's 95% football and 5% people management. Coordinator, probably a little more people management, but a head coach, a lot of that job is you're trading the time you used to spend on football, and you spend a lot of that on managing the folks around you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, any last quick questions for Jeff before we move on, guys?
I have one.
Yes.
Yes.
Go, John.
Thanks again so much for joining us. You mentioned.
I got time.
Okay,
we'll take you up on that.
Our comments slowed down quite a bit as soon as you jumped on. Everyone wants to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Or everyone taking a nap, maybe. Everybody.
I don't think that's the case at all. This is the most quiet I've been on this show. These guys can attest to that. But you mentioned George Payton, just his approach to this coaching search, and how he wasn't going to leave a stone unturned. He wasn't going to cut the process off early just because someone blew him away. And that seems like his approach since he's come here. On every decision he makes, they've all been very pragmatic and just thought out, at least from my standpoint. And some of us on the show, and it may only be me, have adopted the slogan, "In George Payton we trust," because there's few left in the organization, that's been around for more than a year. But just interactions that you've had with him one-on-one, or even on daily interactions, is that how he is in real life? Like, is there what is your take on George Payton as a whole?
Well, the guys that come up from scouting, and he started as an entry-level scout, essentially sleeping on a friend's couch, trying to keep his job because he didn't make any money. So when you come up in scouting like that, the details matter, and the process matters, and you want to, when you make mistakes on draft picks, it's often because you didn't have enough information. Sure. And so that's going to be his mindset, is to get as much information as possible. And some of scouting is projecting as well. So you take information and you project how things might go down the road. So that's kind of how he's going about it. And I think that's why some of the candidates had some background in scouting. Jonathan Gannon worked in scouting before he was a coach. I think there were 3 of the candidates that had a scouting component to their resume. So, I think that's kind of the mindset he's looking for, kind of a big picture thinker. He's not opposed to the head coach calling plays on one side of the ball, but he wants the person to have very much a big picture view of the organization, and to not get tunnel vision, concerned about one side of the ball or the other, but to manage the whole thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Jeff, we're going to let you go. We have some more prizes to give away and everything.
Get to the prizes, man.
Definitely very popular. Love
Jeff's
to have
one of those
Facebook
users whose names doesn't come up. We know you want the swag.
Yeah. Jeff's over here like, I want the visor.
Yeah, no, he didn't want the visor. Nobody wants a visor, Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for your time.
You bet. You bet. All right, awesome. Kevin, we'll see you later, man. Be good.
Hey,
take it easy, man. Thank you.
Awesome. And again, that is Jeff Legwold from ESPN. I think we've hit the big time, guys.
That was cool.
Just a little bit.
I think we made it.
Just a little bit.
I think officially we've made it to the big leagues.
Dude, we have to release that show, like just as a special or something.
We might have to.
We have like an hour's worth of content with Jeff Legwold, and he just gave us all this time and answered all our questions, and nobody's ever heard it. So
Yeah,
and honestly, like that interview is even more legit now than it was when we did it last summer because everything he said came true.
Yeah, for sure.
Like everything that he was talking about, like from Javante Williams being like a star in the league to how he thought Pat Surtain was going to play to why they decided to go with him. Like everything just played out so like exactly like he was telling a story. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely
He's
right.
pretty awesome. I'm impressed.
David hasn't stopped crying the entire show.
Ayla, I would really, really appreciate if you would cut me a little bit of slack instead of just telling everybody. Like, maybe they're not seeing it themselves. Just be cool. That's all I'm trying to say.
So for everybody who posted a question that we didn't get time to it, again, I apologize. We'll try to have him on again. He's a great guy. I'm sure he'd be back on.
Yeah,
but we'll have some podcasts and stuff. But I think it's time to do another giveaway. Let's move on. We won't be able to have all of them before our next guest, who will be Brandon Perna himself from That's Good Sports. Yep.
Yeah, I hope it's not a stunt double.
I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie, Kev. I'm a fan.
Yes, I think we all are.
Yeah.
But let's start with David. Hand off the floor over to you, good sir, and what you're giving away and how people can win it.
All right. Everybody had to sit through Jared's giveaway first, and I understand. You were skeptical. It was a subjective question where you were trying to just guess Jared's opinion and get a crummy hat for your troubles. Now we're going to give you a good hat. Everybody who wants the puffball hat of their choice from NFLshop.com has to answer me the following question, and it's not based on an opinion. This one's a fact. We spoke about it, in fact, several times on a backstage show. What is the Canadian term for a puffball hat? And yes, spelling is not going to count. It's bonus points if you get this.
Is it lame?
Correctly. No, it's not lame, Kevin. It's definitely not that.
I see what you did there, Kevin.
Yeah, it's very clever. You guys got to watch out for Kevin here.
Sorry,
I will be honest. I wore puffballs more in Canada. More in Canada than I wore visors. I'll say that when I did live in Canada for 3 years. I wore these more than visors just because it's winter and way more than I'd like.
We've got a winner, by the way.
We got Glenn, right?
Glenn came in hot with the correct answer, and it's.
I know. I like literally all the other answers are great though. Kevin says boob.
Yep.
Des says a moose hat. I do like that one. Jerry with the snowball.
And then Angelo with the first one. Angelo spell it correctly.
So Glenn got it, but
Glenn
Angelo spelled it correctly.
That's right. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Glenn versus Angelo.
And you're kind of a speller guy. So
that's true. That's true. And Glenn, you've been coming on the podcast for a long time, and I know you're a diehard member of Team Puffball. But I may want to extend the tent here. I may want to expand membership by getting Angelo in here. I think I'm going to throw
this is a good point.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw it Angelo's way. I think we're going to call Angelo the winner on this one.
All right.
Get the correct spelling there.
So technical with the spelling.
Yeah, we're going to take.
Congratulations, Angelo, and welcome to Team Puffball.
Absolutely. And Glenn, thank you for being magnanimous. Appreciate that. That's what we expect from members of Team Puffball.
So you get your option of however much. Actually, both these look really cool. I like both these ones.
Right, like actually that one in the middle there, I might actually be buying that for myself because that looks really nice. Didn't see that was on there. Angelo, we're taking your name down, but do send us a private DM like on Facebook, just to let reinforce that we've got you, and we're gonna get a hat coming your way.
Awesome. Congrats, man. Seriously. Before we go to Ayla really quickly, Jared, I do have something special for you. Being that you calculate the Broncos playoff chances every year, I thought it was time that we honored that with an upgrade. So from now on, whenever you calculate the Broncos playoff chances, you'll be using your very own abacus. This will be coming to you in the mail shortly. But this is what you will use to calculate the Broncos playoff chances from here on out. So you can get rid of that calculator. There you go.
Jared has this look on his face like, how the hell do I use that?
Jared's literally never seen one of these before in his life, and he doesn't know what it is.
Jared needs to figure out how to use an abacus now. That's what you've done.
Okay, no, he's Googling it now.
We've got abacus for dummies.
No, we've got Jared. We're getting sidetracked.
It's still up. Is that still? Yeah. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize that was.
But you also said it out loud, so it's
embarrassing.
I'm skeptical.
Anyway,
congrats, Jared. I wanted to make sure we honored your legacy here at Orange Weekly.
Oh man, I do appreciate that. I'm so excited to learn how this thing works.
Now, Kev, what you got to do before you send it to him is paint one row orange, one row blue.
Okay, I'll work on that.
But then when he gets it, it's all stuck together.
Okay, before our next guest, we have time for one more quick giveaway. Mr. Perna is in the green room, so we see him here. Ayla, hand it over to you to give away your prize and to tell everyone how they can win it.
Perfect. Well, since I'm team wear whatever hat that you like to wear, my prize is whatever hat you want from either the Fanatics or NFL site. We'll just pick out your favorite hat. And you know what? Do you. Don't conform. Whatever these teams are, puffball and visor. I wear them both personally. I wear them. I do all the hats. What's Mila?
Mila is Jared's baby, for anybody.
Mila's my daughter, and that was my wife telling me that my 2-year-old daughter, is going to teach me how to use, which is probably going to happen.
And how old is she again?
She turns 2 in April.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Trash. 2.
I know, and her, yeah. I'm not even going to get into how much I love your wife and baby, because I'll just talk about them the rest of the show. Okay, so my thing is usually social media stuff, and I went to a Broncos game this year, and I wore a classic Broncos jersey. Can anybody name that player?
Ooh, I like this question.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
Now, wait, question. Are you going to tell them which social media to find that answer?
Instagram, Ayla Bobela on Instagram is where the picture is listed. Now it's a race.
I think it's very helpful.
And actually, here's a fun fact. He actually liked my picture for it. So everybody, if I'm going to be a little... That's cool.
I think I got it.
I remember you posting it in the group chat, but I don't remember.
I remember you saying this. Yeah,
it was not Vaughn. No, let's dive a little further back.
Hold on.
And while we're waiting for an answer, I just want to give a shout out to my mom and my son who are both watching, and my buddy Kevin who's in the comments. So Nathan, how you doing, buddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit further back, let's see. He was a first-round pick in 1982. I'll give you guys that.
See, you guys better find the answer quick. Brandon Perna's not just going to sit in our green room eating our free snacks forever, guys.
Yeah.
I know. We only gave him so many free Cheetos. There was 4. 4 total free Cheetos.
Wait, I was supposed to provide him the Cheetos?
Well, so there was
I thought that was your job,
so there's zero free Cheetos. So
now he's just going to be hangry.
I did not wear my Ayla jersey at the game, but I do have it. It was an orange jersey. I'll keep giving out little hints from there. He was a running back.
Oh.
I know.
No, it's not cheating if you answer.
It's not even far down. It's not even that far down the list, you guys. If you just look at my Instagram, somebody will find it.
I mean, who was the first Broncos 1982 pick?
My wife was also.
Yes, Dez got it.
Dez got it first. Nicole was right behind. Nicole right behind it with the.
Ooh, Nicole! Look, now we got it all coming up.
Dez is the winner. It looks like. Sorry, I saw Vance Johnson. I'm not gonna lie. I saw this and I thought Vance Joseph for a second. I need another drink. That's what I need.
Jared got triggered real fast.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
here we go.
Congrats.
Steve.
We're going to give it to Des then. Is Des the winner?
Des was the first answer, yes.
All right,
Okay.
Dad. You send me a message, girl. I'll get you whatever hat you want.
Awesome.
And
Okay.
while we're on it, if you're not following Des, Broncos for Dummies, hilarious content, great content on YouTube and Instagram. She's amazing, great friend of the show. Thanks so much for following Des.
John, we'll get to your giveaways in the next segment as well. But also speaking of some other awesome, funny content and another big powerhouse name in Broncos country, especially Mr. Brandon Perna himself. How are you doing?
Hey!
Oh my goodness.
We're not worthy. We're not
Absolutely.
worthy.
Well, I mean, some of them are.
I was promised hot Cheetos.
And you
Damn
got
it,
none.
Kevin.
And you got none.
Miscommunication.
Right. No, we've been dealing with Kevin's fuck ups all day here, Brandon. It's been
Sorry.
Drop
the ball.
We're real sorry.
This is disappointing. Off to a bad start.
We're never getting him back now.
Brandon, I'm a big fan, bro. Honestly, I am. I've been watching your content for years, and this is an honor.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've been in a couple
about
of
the
your
rest
live
of you?
streams.
We were all thinking it, but we weren't going to say it out loud.
Also a big fan.
It seemed
we had this whole skit planned, but Rob just kind of jumped ahead of the whole thing. But Brandon, two things that I want to appreciate, like super appreciate you for from Orange Weekly. The first one is the first year that we started this, me and Kevin in his cold ass corner room when we first started, we reached out to you and asked you how you got so successful. And you told us, and I'll never forget it. You said, "Be consistent."
Bribery.
That was like your
Bribes.
mostly just bribe the refs and get there. But
and then they messed
you
up
said
the hot Cheetos, and here we are. Dang.
Absolutely, be consistent. And honestly, like no joke, we would probably not be where we are without you. And I think that's a huge piece to who you are and what you've done. And we really appreciate that. The second one is during a halftime show this year.
Yeah.
You on the was it TPS, right?
GPS, yeah, with Grossi.
GPS. Grossi, yeah. So there was a halftime show. I don't remember what game it was. I think it was our Monday. It was the Flexed game.
Yeah.
And you guys did a raid, and you guys kind of half raided us because you guys couldn't decide who you were going to go with. And we got a huge YouTube following, and I wanted to thank you for that in person. And I really do appreciate that. We had a bunch of people raid us, and they were like, "Oh, they actually talk real cool Broncos football, so let's follow them." So thank you so much for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the raids were, that was Grossi's thing. He started doing that this year. He does it like in the middle of all his streams, and so when we were doing it together, I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I think he found the link. He's like, Orange Weekly. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know those guys. Let's definitely."
Yeah. He was like, "Do you know these guys?" You're like, "Yeah, I think I know those guys."
So the funny thing was before you did the raid, we were at like 90 like 70 or 80 something subs, and I'm the newest person on the team here, so I've been trying to push it and get family and friends. My son, who's watching right now, he had some of his friends follow and everything, and I was at the local bar here in town that I go watch the game at, and I get a message from Kevin, "Bro, go look at our YouTube page." And I pulled it up, and we were at like 147 subscribers, and I'm like, "What the hell happened?" He goes, "Perna just raided us," and I was like freaking out at Wingnuts. I was like, "Holy shit!"
You were going nuts
or Wingnuts?
It's called Wingnuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wingnuts.
NUT.
Winghut's the place I go to. So I was like, "Whoa,
Oh yeah.
whoa!" No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad it worked, and hopefully there's some solid Broncos fans showing up for all your bids.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of the people that are winning tonight are probably from people that started from that raid or now here winning some stuff. So that's super
people
awesome.
answering. That's right. They probably are.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. So it looks like we already have a couple questions here. We'll start there, and then I think the first one was. Oh man, I missed it.
Is it me or does Brandon?
We got one here from
like
Glenn.
Rodgers?
That's the one I want. Yeah, Glenn.
Oh, the Aaron.
I'm trying to channel him to Denver by becoming him myself.
Yes. Well, hey, look. Yeah, you and Grossi have that.
Just be careful if you go into Shailene Woodley's house. Like I don't know fully the things that go on there, and I'm not sure I want to. But be careful.
I think they will just heal me. They will heal me with all natural medicine, and I will take their healing.
There'll be salt all over. You're going to come out very savory.
Look, I would do whatever they told me to do if it meant Rodgers was the Broncos quarterback.
That's fair.
Yes.
That's fair.
I'm a team
I second
player.
that.
You heard it here first. I definitely appreciate that.
And my comfort bounds, my boundaries of comfort, I will sacrifice.
Dude, I loved when you smashed that Lego Tom Brady head. That was the best shit ever. Oh my God. I watched that. I don't know how many times I've watched that. And I just was like, FYTB, FYTB.
Yeah, I got to shout out my buddy Woody Roseland, who he's a Denver guy, and he's a video creator, and I've worked with him a lot. But he just came over one day, shot the whole thing for me in my garage, and edited it for me. So like, he did all the hard stuff, and I showed up. But we raised over $12,000 for the Alzheimer's Association. So that's why I smashed it.
Sure,
and
that's awesome.
Hopefully I'm gonna try to do 20 this year. And
nice.
What has been demanded is I shave a monkey tail into my beard. Do you guys know what that is?
What about the
one of those?
Yeah.
How did you get your wife to sign off on that?
Yeah, she's cool. So I'm lucky.
She's cool.
I'm lucky.
I mean, Kevin's like halfway there, so.
I am. I'm getting there.
Well, so is Jared.
Yeah, I was going to say,
give me another year.
As I think we can all safely agree, an expert on facial hair. What do you make of Jared's situation here?
It's in progress. Can we just let this happen in progress?
No, Jared, we can't.
I'm trying to grow it full, and
I beat you for Movember, so like.
My only legal facial hair is the mustache, and I'm just trying to get to a point where I can pretend to be a man. Can we just get there? Like,
so
let the process work.
One day.
How tall are you, Jared?
I'm 6'2.5".
Yeah, see, I would trade my beard for his height. You know, we all can't win. We all can't win.
Yeah, you can't have everything.
But you're tall on the internet, Brandon. That's a different thing altogether.
I'm tall in my heart. Yeah.
Tall in my heart.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah. So here's
a answer, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
Great.
First question here.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Glenn Hauser's asking, are you still finding Legos in your garage? Damn it, Glenn. Yes, I am. Yes. I found them like 3 days ago. I swear to God, Glenn. I was like, oh, another one of these bastards escaped my cleaning. So yeah, they're all over. Okay, Glenn, here's another one for you. In the summer, we were doing walks every day with our daughter. Like, she likes to go outside in the stroller. And I got on my skateboard one day, and I was riding up the driveway, and she was like laughing at me going, and I was going fairly fast, and I come to go up the driveway, and I just ate it. I ate it hard, and my wife was like mostly just embarrassed because there were some people on the block who could see. And I was like, oh man, am I that bad? It was a Lego piece, got stuck under the skateboard and flipped me off of it. And that was the one. And it was like, I don't know, maybe 5 days earlier, I saw that piece. It was like wedged in the crack of my driveway. And I just like flicked it out to the street. I wasn't littering. I was going to get it later. But I was like, oh yeah, what is this doing in here? It'll never come back to haunt me.
You got it later, all right.
Tom Brady coming back to fuck you over.
Got his revenge. Yeah. Got his revenge.
What you should do is collect all those pieces and bag them up, and then raffle it off towards the Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah. I kept a chunk. I had to send them back to the artist who built the Lego head, but I got some pieces.
Gotta just take your shoes and socks off and walk around your garage. You'll find every one of those loose Legos.
They'll just get stuck there. They always do.
No, there's a weird smell in the garage right now, and I'm waiting for the spring to figure out what that is. So that's
probably a dead animal.
That might be worse.
Yeah, that's a good point. Something's not right in here.
We got hard-hitting questions from Frosted Donut. What's your bench press?
Oh, I don't know. I do body weight exercises, bruh.
There you go.
I could push up 3 times.
I could do so many push-ups. I would challenge anybody to a push-up contest. When you don't weigh that much, you don't even have to be that strong to do a lot.
That's a fair point.
You just got to move the arms at that point.
You fast for a week, and you could do like 1,000.
Yes.
I'm about ankle weight.
Kevin's asking if it smells.
Give me those 7.5s, baby.
I was wearing them when I crashed on the skateboard. Oh, it's these ankle weights.
They brought him down like a rock. I saw the whole thing. Oof.
Oh, God. Sharon, look at the next comment after Kevin's.
No.
Oh.
Is that the one?
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Our viewers are guessing the smell in your garage, I think, at this point. We have Dead Hooker and Ben Affleck, and then 6 Broncos fans and a homeless guy.
Weirdest movie ever. Like
that is
there's
the
your
movie.
Next idea, Brandon.
Bronco Devil.
yeah.
I bet it was his name. Bronco Devil.
Find you on YouTube, Bronco Devil.
He's gonna come and skateboard to your house.
Oh no, it wasn't Broncos. Oh yeah, it is Broncos Devil.
Mm-hmm.
You are Satan.
So Brandon, I have so many questions, but I got to ask one. Where do you come up with all of do you just sit and just come up with all this content, or does it just kind of strike you and you're like, I got to write that down so I don't forget it? I know you work with Will Keys.
Yeah, Will's a huge help. It's I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. It's you never can turn it off. Like I'm on Twitter all.
It's a gift and a curse.
Time. Yeah, it's like you're just information. Whatever you see, you're like, oh, maybe we can talk about that. Maybe there's a joke there. And Will and I basically we just work off a Google Doc, and like right now I've got like 20 Google Docs open in tabs, and it's just, they're all different script ideas, all things we're working on. Some of them are horrible. Some of them are probably good. The horrible ones will do well. The good ones won't do well. Like it's just a guessing game. But like the season, there's kind of a rhythm there because Sunday through Tuesday, I know my life is just going to be hell, but it's like I'm going to live stream the Broncos game. We're going to podcast after. I'm going to start working on the Broncos recap. We're going to start working on the best and worst, recapping all the NFL stuff. And it's more of just like, you got to get through it all. So you just do it until it's done. Yeah. And it's like power rankings on Tuesday. And then if there's a news thing, we do it on Wednesday. And I'm just glad that the season's almost over because by this time I'm like, oh, this sucks. Yeah. This sucks.
It's not going to be that quiet in off season either. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Off season played this game until after the draft, and now you've got the USFL going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to watch that.
Yep.
I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to watch all of it. Yeah, make videos about it.
I like it. Brandon, what did you do before you started doing videos full time? Like, I'm so curious.
And follow on question to that: when did you go full time? Because I feel like last time we talked, you were still kind of just doing this as like a part time like thing.
Yeah. Man, I mean, before this, I was editing videos. So and I was editing videos for like other YouTubers, and that's where I was like, oh, I want to be them and not me. So let me try that instead. And it was a lot harder than I thought. But like when we were living in LA and we moved back to Denver in 2015, and I dicked around for a year. I was still doing the show, but I was freelancing a little bit. Vic Lombardi was throwing me work. And like I couldn't decide whether I wanted to try to do like a real video job working in Denver sports media or my own thing. And then kind of just like my wife and I, we got married and we bought a house. And once we moved in, I was like, well, I don't really have a choice. I got to make this work. So it was like 2016, I think, is when I really actually committed to only doing YouTube. And I think I was freelancing with DNVR at that time too, which was BSN at the time. So I had and I was doing some freelance editing for a friend of mine in LA, and I just stopped doing that in 2020. So I was doing little jobs that paid better than YouTube to keep me afloat until I was like, okay, there's enough ways to make this work. And now I was like, oh man, doing those freelance jobs was easier than just trying to do this all the time. But it's like totally worth it though. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, sure.
Man.
Let's see.
Am I the only one asking questions?
Well, no, you got one here. Do you have a favorite or most brilliant favorite comment or premise?
Do I have? What is your most Like what's your most best comment or premise?
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't know. Those are two different questions. I feel like. What's your favorite comment, and then what was your favorite premise?
Narrow it down.
Mine has another comment.
Let's go premise. What was your favorite? Your favorite like premise concept?
There you go.
For like videos,
John.
Yeah. John, John, go. What's your question?
Oh, I was just saying Glenn has another question a little bit farther down. If we don't like this one, that's fine.
Yeah, if we have to move off of this question.
If we want to go down to
yeah, I hate all my stuff, so that's a bad.
Fair.
Okay. There it is.
Like, why did you post that, idiot?
I have I have a question that is a joke, but I don't know Brandon that well enough to know that he's going to know it's a joke because it's also kind of a mean question. So
now that you put it out as
Dad, your explanation is making it worse than it actually would have been if you just fucking said it.
No. All right. Steven Tyler called, and he said that he thinks he looks like more of a skeleton man than you. What are your thoughts on that?
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Super offended.
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler?
Steven Tyler. With the T.
Skeleton man?
That's what he said.
How did he have your number, David?
We talk.
You don't know that about Ayla.
He actually got on IMDb and talked to me through your page. So
that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought Aerosmith was cool when I was 10. Then I grew up, Steven Tyler. I realized you had 2 good songs and then a lot of bad music.
Wow. Coming in hot with the Aerosmith takes, and I don't hate it from Brandon Perna.
And Liv Tyler in Lord of the Rings way better than anything you ever did. Armageddon.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a single disagreement. I don't think there's a single disagreement on the podcast.
What about Liv Tyler in Armageddon? Is still better than anything David's ever done?
No.
That's probably we could debate for a while.
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting.
Right.
Awesome. Any last questions before we go back to some prize giveaways? As I know my internet's starting to crap.
What prize
out.
are you giving me, Kev?
A bag of Cheetos. Yeah, if you want.
That bag of hot Cheetos you forgot to send.
What about the green lime flavor?
Yeah, as long as it's not that math thing you guys pulled out earlier.
What about this mug that says Rachel on it?
I don't know any Rachels, so that'll probably work.
You walk around for that for weeks until somebody comes up to you and be like, "That's my mug."
I'm Rachel.
I'm Rachel.
No, you're not. I got this. I was a guest. I was called Steven Tyler, and then I got this mug.
Are you describing a dream that you had? What's going on here?
Yeah. I was dreaming on because somebody called me Steven Tyler, and then I got this mug. Well, Rachel, get the hell out of my house because I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Since I'm going to be sending the Cheetos, Brandon, I need to know if you like the crunchy hot Cheetos or the puffy hot Cheetos better.
Probably go with
hard-hitting journalism.
Probably go with crunchy.
Regular.
I like them both. I know some people are very particular.
And not the hot lime ones, just hot.
No. Whoa, can we not hold on? Let's not hit on the hot lime.
Cheetos are delicious, by the way.
People don't like Cheetos Puffs, and I don't understand.
They're delicious. I mean, I'll take any hot Cheeto, really, but I just want to make sure I'm sending the right ones since Kevin failed us miserably. So,
Brandon, for you, I will do the Cartman imitation and say cheesy poofs.
Okay.
Cheesy poofs. Don't.
So you don't have to do that.
All right. I'm being shut down by the rest of the goddamn cheesy poofs.
Okay.
There you go. Don't ever let them intimidate you out of an impression.
I love it. I love it.
That's what we do here. We just drag on each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's basically 90% of our job.
Brandon, so you're on That's Good Sports. What else? GPS.
Yeah, there's a long list there, but we got That's Good Sports. We got GPS. We got Clickbait. We got the That's Good Broncos podcast. I host a show over at the Game Day YouTube channel. And
are you on OnlyFans yet?
What's the pot? Yeah, are you also competing with us in OnlyFans? I think that's the big question.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we're
can you also
naked?
Can you also raid that for us? Is there a way that there's a raid on the OnlyFans? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like, there could be some content collaboration there. That's
yeah,
all
we could do collab. I mean, I'm in California, so it might be hard, but
Jared.
Right. So we'll get on a train to Jared, and we'll run human train on Jared. Is that?
Whoa.
Oh dear God! I hope my kid's not still watching.
Jared train, is that something we're still talking about?
Yeah. Coach Coitus and Steven Tyler on the.
You guys would know if it's a joke or not. So.
Yeah.
Unless he's watching our backstage shows, he's probably very confused.
Brandon's over here just like these guys are crazy.
You guys, I'm down to smash some helmets on OnlyFans, so I think we're gonna be good.
Brandon's like, huh?
I'm Googling if that's something dirty.
Helmet smashing.
Jared, we're going to lose Jared for a little while.
That's the football OnlyFans crossover.
I would love to get Brandon Perna on a backstage show one day.
Oh, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be.
I think he's gonna hate. He's got two.
It's our show after the show that we just don't talk about anything but just
and
bullshit.
They're terrible.
It's basically saying he just wants to have a beer with you and catch up and just talk shit.
Right. A virtual beer.
Yeah.
Virtual beers.
100%.
Brandon, cheers, buddy.
There you go.
Yep. Thank you so much.
I'm in the President's Club.
Thanks a lot.
So if you're not in the President's Club, I don't know if my glass is legally allowed. Oh, I had the dad juice mug. I had that same one.
My son got me this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nathan.
I was a bad father. I used it too much.
That should do it.
I love it.
Bad father.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to go back to some giveaways. Brandon, seriously, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
that was rad.
We'll try to get you back before another 6 years goes by if you'll spend some time with us.
Hell yeah.
It could be that you're like, oh, that's why I didn't go back on their show for
Oh, no, I had fun.
I have much more insulting rock stars to compare you.
And again,
we will be destroying some Aerosmith CDs that I have after this.
Yes.
Big ones, to be exact.
Don't get any of it caught in your skateboard.
Just vinyl records just breaking in half.
I think I've probably got a cassette tape of them somewhere.
Oh, even better. Okay. Light it on fire.
If I find the cassette tape, I will be posting
just
it.
Like take the tape out so fast, just like this.
Don't like step on it and then like get the tape wrapped around your legs and then fall down some stairs in front of some kids. Not that it ever happened one time, but if you did,
David.
Right, new content idea.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Word Doc.
Add that to your Word Doc.
Yeah. I didn't make it clear.
Fumbles with cassette tape. Come get it, kids. I'm on TikTok as Skeletor.
Yeah. Skeletor and his cassette tape. What is a cassette tape anyway?
It's gonna be very hot.
Yeah. And Brandon, we apologize. We apologize to your family for you looking for cassette tapes the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Aerosmith cassettes.
Yeah, that's the weird smell in the garage. Our whole comments has been nothing but guessing the weird smell in your garage this whole time, for the record.
I had raccoons in my attic last spring, so it could be anything, guys. I don't secure my house well.
Hey, just make sure you go up there with like a helmet on and be protected.
Oh no, I sent somebody else up there. I was not gonna mess with that.
Smart.
I am not defending my own house as a man. So I'm going to pay somebody to do that.
Yeah, and just wait till it gets warmer and smellier. That's probably the best way to go about it.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
See, that's why I'm worried about the garage right now, because it's really cold outside.
And it's
whatever it is should be keeping. It should be fermenting instead.
Now my time to go get it out, bro.
It is not preserved.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have any prizes for whoever guesses the correct thing that is smelling in your garage?
That's a good point.
Oh, yeah, I got a whole box of shit they can have.
Yeah.
A box of Aerosmith CDs.
Yeah.
I want a Brandon Perna signed picture.
I feel like
a random box. That's probably cool shit.
I feel like if you guess whatever it is, you get to keep the thing. Like whatever it is.
You get the mail off the dead raccoon in your garage.
God, could you imagine that package? Like, I don't even want to think about it.
Yes, I can.
It's whatever thing that smelled and an Aerosmith cassette tape, and it's yours for the rest of the.
You get a box of smelly shit.
Yeah, I'm just like looking to my left. I have so much
really
crap.
Fun.
Do you just have? Would love it. Would love. I'm sure some of these people would love
So
it.
many prizes for whoever wants to come clean
That's
up my
Good
garage.
Sports garage sale on YouTube.
Is it Mark Schlereth?
Mark Schlereth.
Whoa. I mean,
stink.
I get it.
It's hot sauce or whatever. It's chili or I don't know what it makes.
I'm not gonna throw Schlereth under the bus because I've never actually
No.
smelled it, but could be some of his old green chili.
There you go.
That would give a smell.
Yeah.
Could
I
be.
don't know.
That stuff doesn't
Okay.
keep forever. I know.
I know I'm killing the
Awesome.
vibe here. I will.
No,
you are the,
Stop
there
talking
could be a
about
vibe.
my
You
garage.
are the vibe.
Yeah,
You are the vibe.
Stop talking about my garage.
Hey, this has made my whole
Seriously?
2022
My garage,
fun.
guys?
We spent 15 minutes of this show talking about what's in your garage. Like,
And it's the worst thing is
I'll
it's
go back
like
next week.
it's
As
not
long
even
as
close to
there's
ours.
a segment called "What's That Smell in My Garage?"
It's not even close to the worst content of our season either. Like
No.
this is probably like top percentage. Yeah, like top 10.
We haven't lost any viewers this entire time. So
No.
I will
All I
start
want to know
designing.
is, did I do better than Mario?
Well, he hasn't been on yet, but
Oh, he's
certainly.
after me. He's got to
Yeah.
follow
He's
the
gotta follow.
garage smell.
Yeah. He's got
if you want,
I
we'll
guarantee
just go ahead.
he
Mario's
called us
house is
out.
Probably spotless.
He called. He called us out on Twitter. He was like, "You're really gonna make me follow that guy? Like, really? You're really gonna make me follow Brandon?" We're like,
Here. We'll just bring him up
there
here.
he is.
now
Oh, there he is.
because-
Yeah.
Oh, now we got a full house. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Love
I
it.
was really hoping that I would get to follow Legwald and not have to follow Perna. This is the worst. This is the worst case scenario. Brandon Perna is literally the most popular person in all of Denver sports, and I'm like
Yes.
37th on the list. You guys are talking about what's in his garage. I wish it was me.
Would you smell better than what's ever in there?
That's the thing.
Probably
like,
not. But I just want to be close to him, honestly.
Mario's in there like found another Lego. Like,
Is this
Every time I see
Lego?
Perna
I
in
don't
person,
know.
I'm just in awe. Like he and I went to training camp this past year, and honest to God, like I could have gone with like Samuel L. Jackson, and he would not have gotten more attention than Perna got from people. Because all these people coming up to us like, "Hey, you're Brandon Perna. Can I get a picture?" And I was like, man, my sense of self-importance was overstated until I hung out with Perna.
That's just because the Broncos don't have a quarterback. That's the only reason. People are like, "What else is going on here at training camp?"
I'm
What
still
else
holding
smell
out
like
hope
that?
for Drew Lock. Damn it.
Oh boy, that just happened. Those words
Perna's a
just
better
happened on
quarterback
this
than
show.
Drew Lock, honestly.
Perna.
Mario's a better quarterback than me. So what
I was like, yeah, when's
Where
Mario
are we?
going to get his training camp?
Get in the
That's
field,
what I
damn
wanna
it.
see.
I think we need to go out there and actually, because Perna, you when you played with us one time, you actually recorded it, but I know you said your drone footage ended up not working. We gotta get back, that back, try
we gotta
again.
do that again. I mean, it's it's. In
But I mean,
theory,
anybody would look
sounds
anybody
cool.
would look like a quarterback if Cameron Parker's out there playing DB. So
Boy, you got to.
Hey, I volunteered to play center.
Now we're gonna have Cameron on.
Perna's out there.
Now we got to
looking
get
like Cooper
Cameron
Kupp
on,
with-
and we'll just do.
Hey, Cam knows. Perna's out there looking like Cooper Kupp with Cam Gardner.
Yeah, I did that the first 2 times, and my body was so destroyed afterwards. I'm like, I can never run full speed again in my life because
That's why mostly
I'll
play
pay for
all-time
it for a
quarterback.
week.
All-time quarterback is easy.
Yeah,
Right.
Just winging it around, and I'm like, let's go, hurry up. And we're 3 series in, and Albright's at the end of the end zone vomiting the McDonald's. That has
would be
happened
me.
3 times. 3 times Albright has puked while we've been playing football.
Where's the
Oh my
planning,
God.
Albright? Come on now. You know what's coming.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's
Hey,
like,
I
Ryan,
volunteered.
Ryan Edwards isn't a talented athlete, but at least he doesn't vomit when we play.
Hey, I'll volunteer to play center. I'll hike.
Yeah, that's another good one. Although centers are eligible to catch balls, so you're
right. Good. Just so you know, if you're playing center, my hands are going to be all up in your business. So that's what
well, then I guess you and I better go out to dinner and go on a date real quick.
Yeah,
let me get in there.
Yeah,
by the breakfast later.
Now is anyone signed up
Brandon,
to bring
feel
orange
free.
slices?
Brandon, feel free to stay as long as you want, man. If you need to go, totally understand as well. So, totally up to you, man.
No, I don't. I can't stay here with Mario.
Wow.
The room's
I
not
thought
big
we were
enough
going to
for both
set
of
our
you.
children up so that we would be in each other's lives long term, but
Okay, well, no, we can do that.
Okay, there we are.
But
This is
you have to
Orange
raise
Weekly.
my
Orange
child.
Weekly.
You
were
have to
about
raise my child.
ruin a
'cause that thing's
5-year-old
hard.
dream for me.
How is that, baby?
Orange Weekly just became the place for setups for children. I don't know if we're okay
Whoa,
with
now
that.
wait a minute.
That
What?
login.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be a part of this.
Right, no, the phrasing, everything about that was real bad, Jared.
What, you guys got like Tyreek Hill as your spokesperson for that?
Yes,
Yeah,
no, he's already on board. We already signed a contract.
This is, oh boy.
Brandon, I second that, but
I've got 2 beautiful baby boys.
I'm just kidding. I love
So
Mario.
if you guys are ready to do this, let's do it.
Perna, at some point, Perna and I are gonna put out some content together. Eventually,
yes.
we have to work around both of our schedules, and we both have small children, and it's difficult, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Mario is the only person in this group right now who has touched all over my body.
Oh,
well, that sounded sexual.
And I got paid to do it.
Boy, that.
And he's touching my wife.
You want to talk about life
I
goals?
did touch your
like-
wife, yeah. That's where I thought you were going with it initially.
That's
That's all right. That's all right.
Like Mario's the only
David
person
over
that's
here.
touched.
David
We
over
talk
here
about
has
my
a,
body
has a
first.
thing going on with Jared's wife where he can just text Jared's wife and Jared's wife will just smack him.
Listen,
yes. Please don't do that.
I mean,
David, do it right now.
Nah, I don't
I
want
feel
to.
like we brought that up. Unfortunately,
Right, no, I mean, it could be real funny, but I don't think I'm gonna.
and Mario, I do feel like there's a level of me like the next time I'm in Denver, I'm just gonna hit you up and be like, fit me in somewhere. Because
Maybe use different phrasing than that, but yeah.
What? How's my? I feel like my phrasing's just been off today. I don't know why.
Mario,
Just
Jared
fit
really,
me in, nah, bro. I ain't like
Just
that.
fit me in, bro.
he really wants you to hop on the Jared train.
Can we?
Let's just say there's a coach on this program that he wants to be involved in your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Pornography. Oh
There you
my
go.
God.
There it is.
There you go,
Copyright that shit right now.
Pornography.
Dude,
That
we
is
already got
hilarious.
pornography merch in my thing. It's a thing, guys.
The Perna puns are the best.
Yes.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Oh, man.
So we have Mile High Mario on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What's up?
So Mario, welcome.
Mario,
Yeah,
welcome back.
Yeah. Hey, so another thing, a little bit of background, Mario. Vatanzi Therapy. You run that. You also did a huge thing for those of you that don't know. For after we talked to Carl earlier, who was part of the Lions game right after DT died, and held up the sign that said "We're all Broncos today." For DT, and you did the DT sweaters, which I just ordered on the second batch. I ordered the second batch, but you did the hoodies for DT. The first batch got donated to the Boys and Girls Club of Denver, and the second batch donated to his charity, the Demarius Thomas charity. Thank you so much for doing that. Definitely appreciate it. It's absolutely amazing what you're doing for Broncos country, and obviously very involved in Broncos Twitter and just Broncos country in general. So first of all, thank you so much for everything you did for promoting to getting everything for DT. And I guess my first question, for you is the Demarius Thomas, because you knew Demarius Thomas probably better than anybody else on this show right now. How hard did it hit you, and what was the biggest, trying to keep it a little bit happy? What was the biggest thing that you took from him in his positivity in life?
I mean, it still doesn't feel real at times. It's like I appreciate everybody thanking me for doing the hoodies, but it's, you know, it's one of those weird things. Like, yeah, we raised a tremendous amount of money for charity. All told, it was like about $7,200, which is unbelievable. But it's just like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to make something like that. And, you know, it obviously hit me hard. It hit my family hard because we were really close with DT. For anybody that doesn't know, when he was a rookie, he lived with my family for about a week and a half before he signed his contract. Yeah, it was just one of those things. And like, I've kind of somehow become known as the hoodie guy just among Broncos Twitter. And I was like, this is kind of the only way that I know how to honor him. And I knew that there had to be something that I did some way. And I remember, I think it was Ryan Green from CBS4 who had posted an old picture of DT where he was actually wearing that DT 88 logo. And it was actually the last time that I ever saw DT. Came into the office. It was shortly after his car accident. And he was actually wearing that. And I had asked him, like, man, where can I get that? And he's like, oh, hopefully Under Armour's making them, because he had to deal with Under Armour. And, you know, unfortunately they were never made. So yeah, it's one of those weird things where I'm happy and I'm honored to do it, but I wish I never had to. Right. But the thing I take away from DT, because he was such a wonderful, like this, and like a weirdly big part of our family for a long time when he lived in Denver, he had the best relationship with my two little nieces. And he came by one time on Christmas Eve and like brought them. They wanted his jersey so bad. Their dad is from Green Bay, or like near Green Bay, Wisconsin. And they alternated Christmases. And so they were set to drive there the next day. And so DT came and gave him a bunch of Broncos stuff and gave him his jersey, because that's what they wanted, so they could wear it around Wisconsin with all of the Packer fans. And he always took the time. Like, for me, it was nice. And like for my parents, it was nice. But he always took time. Like, he went to my youngest niece's school and just like hung out with her, because one time she was telling her friends that she was friends with Demaryius Thomas, and nobody believed her. They're like, no, you don't know Demaryius Thomas. She's like, no, he's like my big brother. We're so cool. No one believed her. And so she told DT that, and like the couple days later, he shows up at her school and just has lunch with her and all of her friends, and they're all awestruck, you know. And that was just the kind of guy that he was. Yeah, he was the best. Everything that you hear about him, he was genuinely the best dude. And like, you know, the smile says it all. And so just one thing to take away from him is just how big his heart was, and that he would extend this time. And you know, as busy as he was, I mean, for a while, he was considered maybe the best receiver in the league. You know, he was really big time. And even when he reached that level of celebrity, I guess you could say, he still made time for my nieces, made time for the kids, and made time for our family. And he was always just Demaryius. And it was so cool to see him have the success that he did. But at the end of the day, he was just a genuinely great human being. And you know, that was one of the things I wanted to like kind of convey and like pass off when we were doing these fundraisers, was that, you know, wear that and be like how DT was, you know, treat people the way DT treated people, and make time for others. And someone's just commenting, smile like DT. That's the best way to put it. Smile like DT, and just carry on that demeanor, because it was unmatched, man. Really. He was genuinely a wonderful person.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Mario, the only game that I've ever been to was the week after Denver traded Demaryius Thomas to the Texans, and I was so upset because I was looking forward to getting his autograph. And I literally, so at the Denver Stadium, there's that section where everybody can kind of wait for as the players walk in. And the bus pulled in and it had the Houston logo on it. And I was like looking for Demaryius Thomas so bad. And that was such a heartbreak. So
it was weird, wasn't it? That was such a bizarre game.
Oh,
like
yeah, absolutely.
Trading a guy like that mid-season, obviously, it's like arguably the best receiver in franchise history, certainly top 3, regardless of who you talk to. A captain on the team, someone that meant so much to this team for so long, was there kind of for the hard times, you could even say, and to trade him mid-season. And not only that, but then for him to have to come back after spending his entire career in Denver, and his very first game as a member of a different team, he has to play against the Broncos. It was just it was just brutal. And it's just one of those things, like, I keep thinking, you know, if Elway wasn't in charge, like, obviously Elway kind of handled things different than Mr. Payton is handling things. You know, if Mr. Payton was in charge at that point, and obviously that was a long time ago, but would we be talking about how, you know, DT was even traded? Would he have maybe stayed in Denver for his entire career? Because it seems like that's kind of the message that Mr. Payton wants to send to his players. And maybe I spoke too soon because, you know, they did trade Von Miller in the middle of the season. So now that I think about that, maybe it's not quite the same.
And both DT and Von.
And just that. They're totally two different trades.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it's just one of those things, like, it's just weird. It was just so bizarre that he came back, and it's like, you know, he had a couple big catches, and it was cute. It was cool that Houston kind of like had scripted some plays for him, specifically, even though he was there less than a week. But I mean, I cried. I'm sure I wasn't the only person. I was there with my mom. She cried. She was really close with Demarius, and it was cool. They did the whole package, and it just didn't feel right. It just felt like something that shouldn't have happened, you know. And it's a shame that it went down that way, but he's going to be forever a Bronco, I think, in my book, and most Broncos fans. He's a Bronco for life, honestly.
Yeah. And Mario, for everybody who's watching and listening, where can we get a T-shirt, a hoodie?
You can't
follow his Twitter. Follow the Twitter.
Follow his Twitter.
Sorry, and honestly, I will say this. I made that first group order form. I think it was open for a couple of weeks. And so, of course, as people start to post pictures when they're getting their hoodies, everybody else is like, I need one of those. Where can I get one? Where can I get one? So I started another group order form. So now when this next kind of this wave of shipment comes in, maybe if enough people are kind of talking about it, you know, maybe we can set up a third one. So right now, currently, there's nothing available, but if you want to follow along for the chance that maybe it could happen again, I'll post it on my Twitter. That's at Mile High Mario. Don't follow me. I got enough followers. I'm dealing with enough. Like I had said for the longest time.
Too late. I already followed you, bro.
Here's my problem. Mario, I've been waiting literally all day for this. You've been getting hit up by some very interesting individuals today. How is that going for you? I want to find out. Like you got a lot of people asking you to be their want you to be the sugar daddy.
No. They want to be my.
They want to be your sugar mama. That's what it is. Yeah.
No, I'm already a sugar daddy. That's okay. That's my.
Are you subscribed to Jared's OnlyFans? Yes. Is that what it is?
Well, look, we have a connection. Yeah. So.
Pretty bitter contention.
No, okay, so here's what happened. You know, my wife gets these DMs all the time on Instagram about dudes saying that they're gonna be your sugar daddy and everything, and so she usually blocks them. Like, respond, tell them you need more than 500 a week. Tell them like they gotta start at like 1,500. And in fact, like some of these dudes that slid into her DMs, I would message them and be like, "Yo, man, stop talking to my wife for less than $1,000 a month. Are you crazy?"
I like the way you think, bro.
It's always my wife that gets these DMs. So for the first time, I got one of those on Instagram for this lady Brittany. I posted it, and she was like, "Hun, let me do blah blah blah," and I was like, "No, dude, I'm good." But I posted it on Twitter, and there were a bunch of people then, and she was having real conversations with them. So then, when I posted that this morning, this other lady that was on Twitter, like, slid into my DMs and was like, "Hey, hon, what's up?" And so later on, I went to her profile, and she was, like, messaging. Like, all she did was reply to people who were talking about needing a sugar mama. And she was replying, be like, "Hey, handsome, check your DMs. Hey, check your DMs, handsome." And I'm like,
"Hey, what's her Twitter?
You're not 2-timing me. You're like 9-timing me. How many new DMs are you sliding into?" So I called her out, and she blocked me.
It's a numbers
Hey, what's your
game.
Twitter? Let me get in on that, bro.
Personally, it's a numbers game, dude. You gotta.
I'll look it up. I'll tell you right now what her Twitter is.
I'll send you a cut, dog.
You gotta cast a wide net. It's like interviewing 10 head coaching candidates. You gotta get as many as you can.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yo, I just got a text from my wife that says she can't hear The Bachelor because I'm yelling too loud. Oh shit! I'm in trouble.
You don't
now.
mess with the Bachelor.
No.
You don't mess with the Bachelor.
That's serious.
Okay, hold on.
No.
Okay, so her it's Angela Kyle 709. Go hit her up. Just ask her, be like, why'd you block Mario? Like, thought y'all had something special. Yeah. He called you out. Like, he wanted to be the only one whose DMs you were sliding into and you block him? That's just disrespectful.
Angela Kyle, what was it?
I'm ready for a sugar mama. Like,
there's no way she's gonna be the sugar mama for like a dozen dudes. There's no way.
Hey, you never know, bro. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into that.
You might know a little bit too much about that.
Hey, you and
Rob,
I have a conversation, bro.
Yeah, Rob. Oh man.
Yeah, here I was thinking we were gonna talk about like, you know, Hackett versus Quinn, who would be the better coach. And now we're talking about Mario's.
Orange. Yeah,
we're talking about Mario's potential sugar mamas.
We touch on Broncos stuff every once in a while.
Sugar mamas.
For the record, this conversation was not this way with Jeff Legwald.
Not at all. I mean, we're an hour 45 minutes into this, guys. This is firmly backstage time. Okay?
Yeah, this is backstage time.
Yeah,
why didn't Jeff Legwald talk about his garage?
Not as much as we talk about yours.
Him?
No, nobody had the forethought to ask him, honestly.
I feel like his OnlyFans, though. He did talk about
did, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, I feel like if we would have had you on, we probably would have asked about his smell in his garage first, but that didn't happen. So,
if Len said she slid into Mario's DMs like
OnlyFans
Pete
is called
Rose.
Leggy. Please say it's Leggy.
It is. That's his nickname. His nickname is Leggy. Yes.
Yeah, extra leggy with 3 X's. And then
not a lot of leg content.
Oh, see, I thought it would be third leggy.
Ooh, there it is.
Oh, that's hilarious, bro.
Hey, if Mario and Brandon, if you're okay with it, let's take a quick pause and do another giveaway. It's been a little bit, and I know people are still waiting around for some of those as well. We have 3 more giveaways.
Go for it.
John, you're up
Don't
next.
make me follow this up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
John, you're up next.
Give away a freaking
he literally put you on the spot, John. Like this is.
I abstain.
You're up, John.
Abstain.
I will give the first person that comments get the prize because I want more of this Mario Perna.
You don't even know the prize.
Can you guys donate? Can you give away some Perna hair to me?
Perna hair?
Hey,
I started losing my hair when I was 21, and looking at Brandon right now is making me sick.
I feel like I made some comments about.
Were you thinking better than me?
I feel like I made some comments about Brandon's personal appearance earlier that are going to keep him from giving us any extra stuff there. Good Lord, there's a contrast here.
Just do the wave therapy that gives you erections.
Bitch, I've tried everything. None of that works.
Try for your head.
I've tried everything.
Did you stick your head in the testicle wave therapy thing?
I have a scar on the back of my head because they tried to take hair from the back of my head and put it up top, and it still didn't work.
Those
I should just go get that tattoo thing and just have them color it in.
Yeah,
that's what I need. Just like Sharpie that shit. It'd be look like Carlos Boozer at the end of his career.
I got you.
You should just tattoo somebody else's face on your head.
What I need. I need the thick Sharpie.
I got you.
Yeah.
Dude, just do dots. Don't color it in. Just little dots.
There's gonna be some marks and some dots. So don't tell me my professional business.
And then when you stand back, Ayla just put her name on the back of your head.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that you can do that. I want a Nike swoosh.
You have to sign your artwork. So
yeah, when I was young, I used to do a Nike swoosh in my head.
Nice.
Right. I want one of those too.
Unfortunately, Ayla's Instagram handle is too long to just draw into the back of your head, so that's the only problem.
No, we didn't do the handle for it. Just Ayla. It's just Ayla. It's like Cher.
It's like Cher.
See, we just need to combine the hair growing abilities of Jared with the mustache growing abilities of Mario, and you've really got something there.
It's the mustache isn't even that impressive.
No,
like,
but
I just shaved everything else.
Comparatively,
I'm
though,
gonna sharpie that mustache next.
Come on, Jared.
We're on mention 4 of my lack of mustache. Look, I've been trimming it. I'm trying to get it to grow real.
You know what you're doing, dude.
So earlier, my buddy Kevin was in the comments, and he wanted me to tell you guys that Jacksonville has hired Byron Leftwich as their next coach. So hopefully Jacksonville wins 4 games next year.
You know, it's one of those deals where whoever they hired couldn't possibly be worse than Urban Meyer. So
yeah. Well, and I mean, Leftwich was in Jacksonville for a long. I mean, he was their starting quarterback for a long time.
And that was when they were decent.
Cool. I think it's cool he's going back there.
I do.
Yeah,
too.
I think that's really cool.
I hope it doesn't ruin him, because I think he's actually going to be a really good coach in this league if he finds the right opportunity. And I just don't know if it's going to be Jacksonville or not.
Well, and it's unfortunate for him because he was, the offensive coordinator with Tom Brady, who I feel like wasn't calling most of the plays.
No, he was.
Let's be honest.
He called. I mean, I guess, but he
was a play. He was a
called
play caller, but who was the one making the play calls to the line, right?
He called plays
and that was kind
Brady
of the same
got
thing with
there,
like.
too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brady calls his own plays. Do not give him that credit.
I was waiting for Ernest
goddamn it.
Brady.
Look, he's not. I'll say this: he's not Peyton Manning calling audibles on the line, but I feel like there's times where he's like, "Yeah, we're not running that," and then he just runs whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Well, but
Peyton Manning coached the defense at the same time. He told the opposing defense what he was
what
about
they
to
were going to
run,
do.
so they knew.
Make sure you're in cover 3.
Is it going to be a situation, though, where it's like, because Peyton Manning did call his own plays, and he was so good at it that there was not one but 2 teams that got tricked into hiring Adam Gase as their head coach.
Yes.
They're like, there's something has to do with Adam Gase. Is like,
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, Adam Gase's interview is literally like, so I was the coach for Peyton Manning.
And then Peyton calls and is like, yeah, he was my coach. You guys should hire him. He's really good. I feel like
he better just be sending Peyton fruit baskets every freaking week. Like, thank you for letting me finesse 2 teams into head coaching jobs, Peyton.
Hey, Kev, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna kind of jump into my giveaway if you're good.
Yeah, let's do it. If John won't do it, Rob, you're up, man.
I gotta leave. I gotta do some work. So
Brandon, hey, thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
Thank you guys for having
me.
Brandon. I appreciate it.
Mario, you stay. Brandon, we love you, buddy.
Tell your wife she's due for a treatment. I miss her.
I will. I'll tell her.
Why did that sound sexual?
Because it was.
Talk about phrasing, Mario. You're telling me.
Yeah, and that's how
Hold on. Time out. Mario, you come on my show and take my phrasing capabilities.
Oh man, this is hilarious. All right, so
I didn't say it. I just say it like I tell people to come in once a month. It's been more than a month. That's it. He was the one talking earlier about I was touching her.
Touching her and him.
He was like, Mario's the only person that's touching me or my
He's
wife.
got his hands all over me.
all right, so
he doesn't know who's touched him, by the way.
All right, so I have
one of us at a bar.
Time out. It's giveaway time, guys.
All right.
So I have 2 of these mini helmets to give away. Just a couple things I want to kind of shout out here. First of all, I want to thank all of our fans who obviously are continuing to watch it an hour and 52 minutes. Really appreciate everybody. We appreciate all our guests, Mario, Brandon Perta, Leggy, everything. I also want to thank Pro Image here in St. George, Utah. They have multiple locations all over the U.S., including the Dominican Republic. You can check them out at proimagesports.com. So for the first helmet giveaway, I have two questions. The first one is, in what year and what pick did Denver draft a kicker from Hawaii? Now we all probably know who the kicker is, but I want to know what year and what pick he was coming out of Hawaii.
I didn't know until you told me, Rob. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know. And then when you said who it was, I was like, holy shit.
And that's why I thought it was a good question. Now, granted, I will give my mom a shout out here. She did get me a Broncos trivia book for Christmas, so I did pull that question from the book. Oh crap! How the hell did
your son's listening in the other room, isn't he?
No, he's not. No, he doesn't even live with
Mom
me.
gave your son the same trivia book. We know.
No, is there a clause that I can't give it to my son because he's the first one that got it?
It's usually what happens with regular giveaways, but
that's nepotism, dog.
That's nepotism, yeah. Can't dip in that nepotism.
All right, so to be fair, I'm gonna give him one, but I have another one, so that way we can kind of separate it here. The second question I have is, what player had multiple touchdowns in the Broncos route of Atlanta in Super Bowl 33, and it is not who you think it is?
If your son answers again, he can't win.
No. He's out.
How much do you want to bet he gives it to his mom?
Say that question one more time, Rob. What was the question one more time?
So what player had multiple touchdowns in the route of Atlanta in Super Bowl 33? And it is not who you think it is.
That was my first guess too, Glenn. That was my first.
Nope.
Glenn,
Jared guessed that
he
before
said
the
it's
show.
not who you think it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I said that several times. I got this one. I got it. Step back.
That was the longest play in Super Bowl history, actually, when Ross Smith scored that touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it was. I have not seen the correct answer yet. Y'all are gonna make me dig.
Maybe
out
one more
question.
person should say Ross Smith, just in case.
Right, just in case the first.
It's not. It's not. I even Googled it to make sure the book wasn't wrong. Nope, it wasn't a tight end. I'll give you.
You can't just say tight end.
Tight end.
Yeah. Random position. Random position.
I'll give you a hint. It was a running back, but it was not a
football
tight end,
player.
and it was not Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Right.
Football player for the Broncos.
Stop it, Mario. Stop it.
Yeah, he knows.
Stop it right now.
It's perhaps a
Glenn, you win.
No.
Howard
Griffith
Griffith.
like 4 times. Glenn, you get one.
But
guess,
he
Glenn.
was the first one to get it.
Thank you for adding order here, Mario.
Dude, no. Glenn's just over here listing every player on offense.
He was just going through like, okay, all the offensive players.
Glenn, like Rob Smith, Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp, Ed McCaffrey, Howard Griffith.
Glenn, you get us a message with your address, buddy, and I will get that.
Yeah, you got to give it to Steve. No, you got to give it to Steve. You got to give it to
Sorry,
Steve.
Glenn. You get
What are
one
you
guess,
talking
dog.
about?
You can't keep guessing.
No, the correct answer was Howard Griffith.
Yeah,
Steve got it
He had
too.
like 4 guesses.
He was the first one to get it.
Oh, Glenn, you're lucky. Oh, see, now Glenn's trying to make up for it.
He's sucking up here.
This is the second time Glenn has done this.
Glenn knew he messed up, and so he had to recover it.
Hey, he was the first one to get it, so I got to give it to Glenn.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
Awesome. We do have one more giveaway yet, but we
can ask what the state bird is of Hawaii, since we're talking about Hawaii.
Do you know the answer?
I know.
Nuka nuku apua ah. Yeah,
No,
bitch.
that's a fish.
That's the state fish of Hawaii, Mario.
I know what
shit.
the bird is there.
Ayla, did you know that?
I blew it.
Fish, and I did know
This
that.
was your
Right,
moment,
I blew
man.
that.
You're one syllable off for the bird.
The state
Yeah.
bird is
One syllable off
the
for the
nene.
Mario, how
Is
dare
it
you?
Ayla? Is it the bird?
The state bird's the nene.
Oh no, then okay. That is the fish.
Yeah,
That's
that's
It's the fish. That's the one that you just said. Yeah.
That was what was that movie from? It was Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I think.
Yeah.
Huma huma nuku nuku wapua'a.
I know like 50 different kinds of fish. Huma huma nuka nuka apua. Yeah, bitch.
There it is. I knew there was a bitch at the end. That always makes every sentence better.
Yeah, bitch.
Every sentence.
That's the sentence.
Every sentence, John. Like,
David, can you just
But
okay?
it doesn't.
Just okay.
okay. All
I
right.
gotta say, of all the people that I'm looking at, David's my favorite.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I don't know
Mario.
what it is, man. You look good.
I get that a lot.
You
Yeah, not bad.
I wonder
Oh
why.
no,
You took out his advertisement. Let's bring back his adverntisement here.
Censor the best looking one. That's great.
Hey, for the record, Mario, when we had you on the podcast, granted we weren't live streaming, but when I wore that sweater, you were like, "You're pandering, dude. Like, stop that." Like,
well, look, man, it's different because that was the first time that you had me on, so it was pandering. David is a true blue fan.
I waited for that second time. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I've had people like reach out to me and they're like, I really like your logo. I like the hoodies. The logo's too big. Could you do a hoodie where it's just, like on just on the chest? I'm like,
no, you tell them hell no. No. You tell them hell no.
No, I should do it bigger. It's gonna take up the whole goddamn
yes.
time. I'm gonna make it as big as possible.
We're gonna
buy it. I don't care.
And Shelby Harris wearing it during his interview, like the tie-dye one, I was laughing so hard. I couldn't even listen to the interview. I was laughing so hard with him wearing that. It was amazing.
Dude, that was a really good one. I remember I did that one a couple years ago. And it was really frustrating because I really liked the design and, the tie-dye was back. And then I'm putting in the order form and then Custom Ink is like, we only have that in medium and 2X. I'm like, awesome. And so my wife got one and Shelby Harris got one.
I'm out because I'm a 3X. I'm a big
hold on.
Hey, I tried on the medium and I was like, nope.
Yep.
So you tell me only two people have that sweater. Only two people have that hoodie.
I think there are some other people, but it's like when I do these group order forms, and you go to look, and that was one of the things that I had to deal with. In the DT hoodies, I had to keep adding the first group order form. If you guys remember, there was like 5 different choices, and it was because we had to make sure that all of the sizes were accounted for. And so usually I'll post it, and then I'll be like halfway through, and Custom Ink will be like, hey, we don't have any of that size, and you sold 36 of them. And so usually it's like if they don't have a large, they'll be like, we'll just send them XL. And I'm like, no, you have to find a similar product. You can't just send them the wrong size and call it good.
LOL.
So Mario, I'm actually working on some.
The angle here is not going to work real well.
Wait.
I know you're really called to do this, dude. Okay, there you go. Actually, that's pretty good.
That's pretty dope, dude. I like that.
Don't let Justin take credit for that design either. That was all me. He approved it.
He approved it.
I'm actually working on some Orange Weekly merch for us. So that's
dude, if you need any help, honestly, the reason that I do Custom Ink, Rob, it's so easy. Like just the designing, because you just put your logo in there. If you want to change the color scheme, it's really easy. And then the way that I found out that I could do fundraisers, just like Custom Ink does all of that for you if that's the route that you want to go down. But then you're not having to buy in bulk, right? If you don't want to, people could just kind of buy individually. So then I've realized I kind of inadvertently that if you have these group order forms, then people start posting the pictures and then you actually drive up demand for the product. They're like, oh, where can I get one of those? It's like, oh, they're really exclusive. You got to go follow this guy and they only drop every so often. I didn't even mean to do that, but now I look like the hoodie on accident.
Well, I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter. You and I'll get together.
It's amazing.
Man, let's do it.
So I got the Justin Simmons one. I just ordered the Demaryius Thomas one from the second batch order because again, same thing. The first batch order, I was like, I couldn't find XL. I just couldn't find it. So it ended up being
XL.
He better drop. Rob,
when you're that tall, you kind of
you're like a medium at best, maybe a large.
So first of all, my biceps are just smaller than Mario's, and second of all. They're very, very small difference between me and Mario's biceps. But also, I'm 6'2.5", so anything that I order less than extra L ends up being a crop top.
Yeah.
And no one's a fan of that.
That's okay.
You already wear hats that don't cover enough of what you're wearing of your head.
That's okay. Hey, that's okay, Jared. It works for the OnlyFans page. It's fine.
Right. Well, yeah. No, that's why I get the mediums.
Wait, Jared, do you only wear visors or what?
I'm 90% visor. Yeah. Yeah,
well, so I got something for you. Hold on one second.
Oh boy.
If he pulls out a puffball, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
Oh man, he wouldn't. He won't.
If he pulls out a visor, I'm gonna lose my mind.
He won't. Please don't.
Everyone has a visor.
Everyone has a visor.
Throw these back.
We're all excited for this, Mario. Oh, yeah.
I want one of those.
All right.
And he has autographs on it. Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
All right. So we have
Oh
to
my
go
God! Look,
to-
it's Rod Smith and Jason Elam, the people that we were literally talking about.
Yes.
All right. Well, so
just talking
Mario,
about these people.
it was
I
only
don't know, like it's like just always available, and he
Dude, that's dope.
It was only a matter of time considering his biceps, but Mario has officially just flexed our show into a
Yeah, Mario flexed the show hard.
I've seen that headwear.
Hey, don't make me go get my
Wow.
Science
Get outta
World
here
David
with that.
jersey.
God,
Okay?
my
This
goodness.
thing is 25 years old.
That's fucking badass. That's awesome.
They used to. This was at the Old Mile High. They were selling these things in the parking lot before the game for like $50.
Yep.
And my dad went up to them and I was like, I gotta have one of those. I gotta have one. And he was like, I am not paying $50 for a foam Bronco hat. I'm like, Dad, please. And he's like, he gives me $35. He's like, go give it to him and say, I'll give you, this is how much I'll give it for you. Or I'm not having it. And I was like, they're not gonna do that. And he's like, yeah, they will.
Yeah.
So I go up and I was like, I only have $35. Can I still have one? And they're like, sure.
You get a hug with it ever since.
I probably couldn't get away with it now.
Probably.
Right, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I have to literally go like flex on them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
challenge him to a lifting.
Oh,
contest,
these?
then- yeah.
Oh,
uh-huh.
those?
Right.
These little things right
Then
here.
they're there.
You know, you almost caught me. I was almost going to do it, and I was like,
It's bad.
Okay,
it's
we
bad
have-
lighting. It's bad lighting. Yeah,
We
come
have-
on,
there you
Ayla.
go, Ayla. There
Come
you
on,
go,
Ayla. Come on, Ayla.
The big flex. Yeah.
Popping out.
You're like, yeah, I have this switch on. Yeah.
Ayla's like, what's
So,
up?
For the 15 people that are still watching us, we have one giveaway yet to do. So let's get that done. John, you're up. We'll save yours for last there, man.
Are we ready to do this? We're ready to do this. Okay. Well, this was supposed to be in the middle of the show for the schedule, and this is a drinking giveaway. So
Can
that's
I win?
great because now I got to drink this drink that I'm about to create for you guys. But last year, my question was exactly the same as Kevin's this year. Who your favorite Bronco was that wasn't in the Hall of Fame? So this year we're going to mix it up a little bit. And
Glenn, what are you talking about? You won a helmet.
And I don't know what Rob's talking about, but anyways, we're gonna do a little mixology here. Rob, thank you. We're gonna do mixology. We're gonna see who can name the drink that I'm about to make for you guys. Again, this was supposed to be middle of the show, and I would drink this the rest of the show, but now I'm been drinking whiskey the entire time instead. So
you're just gonna have to hammer it back, is what I'm hearing. Like
yes,
you're just gonna have to pound.
Well,
it.
I don't know. Who knows? I
We'll
don't know.
see.
Okay, boys and girls. We got 2 shots of gin here.
Gin and tonic. Just kidding.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Good
John-
start.
John-
I mean, you had the right alcohol.
John's just trying to get drunk.
That's too late, Rob. We've already committed. We have 2 parts of fresh lime juice squeezed today.
Yum.
Very fresh from the local 7-Eleven because the liquor store did not have lime juice. Yeah, that's sad, but true. And then 1 part of simple syrup. First person to name that drink gets a very special bottle opener, Broncos style. Who's got it?
And when Jared returns, he'll show what the bottle opener looks like.
2 parts lime juice, 2 parts Tracy. Nailed it. Gimlet, my friends.
I don't know. I kind of like the holy water and ice.
I'm surprised Glenn didn't just name every gin drink that he could think of.
I mean, there's only so many.
Right? Yeah, John. I figured you more for a lime Ricky man than a gimlet kind of guy, but here we are.
Oh.
Hey, Jared, pull up the hold up the prize there. Tracy, that is what you have just won.
That's a pretty great prize.
Magnetic.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
I have a hat.
Tracy, send us a message on any of the social medias or send us an email or something, and we'll get your address and we'll send that out to you. So congrats, Tracy.
Tracy, you're gonna love it. I have one of Jared's magnetic bottle openers, and it only falls off the fridge some of the time.
Only when you apply.
Rob, you got one last year too, didn't you?
I did, and I still have it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I can't show it to you because it's mounted, but
Yep, that's what happens.
Fair enough.
So,
Glenn, make sure
sweet.
you send us
Thank
a
you.
message with your address. You won one of the helmets, bro. Like, I don't think he realizes that, but anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, he guessed like 50 times, so we gave him a lot of shit for it. So
He also
He did get some shit. Yes.
I even wrote your name on it.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
we are getting close to the end there, but let's start. I don't know, kind of winding it down a little bit.
Yeah, we're all old, tired people, except for Mario, who has boundless.
Mario's amped. Mario's like, let's go another 3 hours.
Mario just took his pre-workout before the show just to get ready for us.
Hey,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
So he can flex on us.
You know what? A lot of people ask me is like, I got a 4-month-old. So when you have a new baby, what's the first thing that everybody asks you? Oh, how are you sleeping? You getting any sleep? Yeah, my son sleeps 9 hours a night. I sleep great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
jealous.
about.
I'm
yeah,
jealous.
He's the
I know.
freaking man. He's the
I know.
freaking man.
Legit.
I know my son is still watching, so he's gonna be embarrassed, and that's okay. He's 12.
Hey, shout out to the Snoop. That thing is the greatest invention ever.
Okay.
My
Going on
son-
the registry. Going on the
My
registry.
son, when he was first born, he did okay. Then he did a flip flop where he only slept during the day and didn't sleep at night. And guess who stayed up with him all night?
Rob.
Rob, if
Yep.
it's not
Yeah.
you, this is a horrible
Yeah.
story.
No, it was me.
Wanted a
I,
party,
because
man.
no, I
You
did
said
that.
you wanted a party.
No, I did that because I let his mother sleep because that's just the way it was. But
Dude.
yeah, you're a lucky man, dude, for him to sleep that long.
Yeah, how many hours a night does your almost 2-year-old sleep, Jared?
Oh no, she sleeps like 12 hours a night.
Wow, 12 hours.
We hate you, Jared. We hate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, she's almost 2, but we put her down at like 6 or 7, and she goes to bed. She wakes up at 7 like clockwork. She'll wake up at 7 every single day. It's amazing.
That's nice.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely happy. John, start taking notes. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
John's wife is expecting.
John, first one.
Plus one.
First one, yeah.
First one.
First
Congrats,
one.
man. That's awesome. Boy or girl? Do you know
Oh,
It's a girl. It's a girl.
yet? Or she hasn't told you yet? Did you just assume your child's gender, John?
I don't
Oh, God, bro, that is not progressive.
is.
Dropped it on one of the shows before.
yeah, right. Yeah, I think that came out on and maybe was a little bit early, but
You know what?
Yeah.
I have a patient, and his wife was recently pregnant, and I was like, "Oh, are you gonna find out the gender?" And they're like, "We're gonna wait until the baby's old enough." And I was like, "Oh God,
Oh,
you're gonna let them tell you what their gender
I'm not
is?"
touching that. I'm not touching that.
I was like, you know what? Up until I was like 9 years old, I thought that I was a pterodactyl. So I don't know if that's the best route to go.
Mario running around the house, fucking.
He's actually in 3.
Mario,
Yeah,
shut up and go to bed. You can't talk to me. I'm a pterodactyl. Ask me what gender I think I am.
I just feel like
kid.
if you had leaned into the pterodactyl thing a little bit more, like who knows where you might be right now. I'm not saying you haven't had a successful life and career. I'm just saying what could have been, Mario. What could have been.
I probably wouldn't have the Twitter presence that I have now.
No, you'd have a big
But I would have at least a 15-foot wingspan.
Yeah,
So
That's true.
Like,
You'd be,
what
hey,
would you
hey,
rather have?
you'd
the
be the
21st
number one
century, you
draft pick
tell me
in the
what's more important.
NBA, bro.
Yeah.
Was that?
You'd be the number one draft pick in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be like if Greg Oden wasn't made of glass, you know?
Right. Wow, Greg Oden reference, man alive. It really is.
Yeah,
time
you
to end
guys
this
get
show.
everything
Yeah,
out of you.
really.
Get my A game when you get me on.
You
Okay?
invite Smile and Mario. You're getting the full.
What
This
were
is the
the odds of a
experience right
Greg Oden reference on
Yeah.
the Orange Weekly podcast?
They were
500
amazing.
to 1. Somebody just cashed in big time.
real big.
Did
Yeah.
anybody have that on the bingo card? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Did not.
I think somebody
Nah.
signed up for that with a free bet on DraftKings. They just cashed in
Hey, there you go.
real hard. Oh man.
They just
All right.
cashed in big time.
Absolutely.
Kev, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first on the closing thoughts. I know we're getting
Yeah,
towards
let's
the
do
end here.
some go arounds. Rob, we'll start with you, man.
So, being that I'm the newest guy on the crew, I want to thank all of you guys, the Orange Weekly crew, I appreciate you guys getting me into this, and it's been absolutely a blessing. All of the guests that we've had tonight, Mario, Perna, Leggy, Carl. Gosh, sorry, I've been drinking. It's fine. I appreciate everybody being on the show, and I look forward to doing whatever I can to help us grow. And I appreciate and love all you guys, even you, Ayla. I love you. I know you're married.
What do you mean me?
Well, you're married. I don't want your husband to hunt me down and try to beat my ass.
We're all married except for David.
And me. I'm not.
David's married to that hoodie, bro.
Thanks, Jared. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep now.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But and Mario, I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter for sure, bro.
Let's do it.
And
I did not need another follower, but since it's you, it's okay. I gotta start.
Yes.
Now I gotta start blocking people.
Just don't block me.
You're gonna slide up into those DMs.
Oh, I will. I'll slide head first in that shit.
Have you gotten another text from your wife after that pterodactyl impression?
Let me see. She's not gonna be happy.
She's gonna be so mad right now.
What the hell are you
when I'm getting the text, it's all in good fun. When she doesn't say anything, that's when I'm in trouble.
All right, that's all I wanted to say. I love you guys, and I look forward to next season, the off season, all of that. So,
yep,
absolutely love it, Rob. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ayla, how about you?
Ayla.
Go for it.
No, Ayla.
Well, I have a lot of things to say. Number one is I actually had the baby, so you guys are a bunch of babies talking about the babies. So,
I was there next to my wife. Okay, it was like
and we all just got kicked in the butt.
I was crying in the corner when it happened.
I have 2 under 4 and had to warn mine, like my husband, not to pass out during it. I was like, sit down, you tall glass of water. I'm doing the hard work. So,
oh my God, that almost happened to me, Ayla.
I know, Rob, but it's my turn to talk now. So,
get him.
You still love her?
Here we go. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
I love Orange Weekly. Thanks, Kev, Dan, and Jared for being the founding members of this really fun show that we get to do. I'm super grateful. And what a fun fan appreciation. It was a weird season of football. I hate the hearsay of off season, but I'm looking forward to doing it all with you guys. And honestly, I'm super grateful for it as well. So, and all the fans out there, you guys are the best. You guys make it. You guys make us. You guys make this happen. And I just,
Ayla, don't you start crying.
Oh, me? No.
No,
I probably will.
That's me. That's me. I've been crying all show. Remember,
David, I was trying to save you from this shit, and you just throw yourself in it.
I'll have the babies. I won't cry though.
Yeah, I won't have any babies, and I will cry.
David, you're
no, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Orange Weekly, the fans. This is really fun, and we'll keep growing. Broncos are going to be so much better next year, and we will have lots more stuff to talk about in the off season. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ayla. You're awesome.
Yeah. I have to echo everything that Ayla and Rob have said, just as far as thank you so much to our fans. You guys are the only reason that we do this. You make this so much fun and so worth it every single week to come and talk Broncos with you. We could just have a Zoom conversation by ourselves, but it's really you guys that make this worthwhile for us. I'll just harp on a theme I've been harping on the past few weeks. It's, a new breeze is blowing in Broncos country, guys. We've got a new head coach coming in. You got really exciting options as far as potential new owners go. It's a brand new day. You've got a new draft coming up with George Payton at the helm, and you saw what he did the last time. There's so many reasons to be excited. And, whether you get one of these big name quarterbacks that everybody's talking about or not, there's so many good things happening in Broncos country, and we're going to be here with you for all of them. We're taking you out of the darkness and into the light.
Yay!
David, were people in the darkness?
They were in the darkness, Jared.
Are we not all bright and sunshiny in Broncos country right now?
Remember the dead inside?
Yeah, hashtag dead inside, Jared.
Jared, there are people that are lobbying for Jimmy Garoppolo to be our quarterback. There are a lot of people in the darkness, big homie.
Jared, do it.
Oh, that hits hard.
All right.
Have we given up on the darkness episode?
The words Kirk Cousins top 12 quarterback keep appearing on my Twitter page. I'm telling you, Jared, there are some people who live for darkness, not just live in darkness. They want that. They crave that.
There were people that thought Fangio should remain the head coach. We could go on and on and on, okay?
Oh my God.
John was going to have a conniption.
Lift them
Their
out.
defense is really good. It doesn't matter that he's 19-30.
No,
Well, what about the new owner? They might fire the next coach.
Just lift them out. Lift it.
Well, I mean, the worst fans are the ones that are going to jump ship no matter what. So
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
but now
none of those are our
stuff
fans.
to look forward to.
That's right. None of those are our fans. We have great fans because they're all great Broncos fans, every single one of them. So thank you all, and we look forward to another season.
Yeah.
So David, is that you officially telling us that the grief episode is not happening?
I listen. I am totally here for the grief episode. The grief episode is not my baby in that I'm organizing the grieving people. It is my baby that I am ready to help the grieving people.
So Mario, just to give you a background here, we decided that after that season, there was so many people angry at 90%. Like it didn't matter what it was, people were angry about it, and you know this. It didn't matter what side of the line you were, people were going to be mad. So we were going to have just a grieving episode hosted by David, who was dead inside, self-acclaimed dead inside, and he was just going to host in a Jewish mother accent. A grieving episode where we all just grieved just the things that we hated about that season.
David, do it, David.
Mario, are you going to come and join us for the show? We're going to have a very nice time. There's going to be snacks. Everybody will be airing their grievances. You're going to feel a lot better.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Are you coming?
Please, can you do it? Please,
we're putting you on the guest list. If you can't make it, just call first. I know your mother.
That's so like Mike Myers.
David, you sound like some of my relatives. It's so fucking scary.
I'm getting foot flipped.
I feel so guilted into doing this. I can't say no.
Oh, I understand. You have a very busy schedule. You couldn't possibly make time for us. I get that.
I feel so bad, and I didn't do anything.
No.
We don't even know if it's happening, and Mario's over here like, I have to do it now.
I'm in place, I guess. Tell me.
Oh,
Mario,
before or after the Seder?
No. It's during the Seder. During
the Seder.
Your timing couldn't have been worse.
Should I bring a casserole?
No, not during the Seder. Of course not. Because you have to have a certain kosher meal. I'm making a brisket. You don't have to bring anything.
Okay, but if I don't make the casserole, then everybody will be upset.
Why don't you come over a little early and you can help me make the matzo ball soup?
Because we have differing opinions on the correct way to do it, David.
Yes, I understand. Oh, I love club soda. I worship at the altar of club soda.
God, David, give it a rest already.
This one.
Oh man.
I was better than.
I'm gonna have to clip this.
I don't use chicken stock. I use the benefit bullion.
You're not fooling anybody, David. Everybody knows you use beef stock.
Kevin, just put those two on the screen.
Jar of bullion.
Say hi to your mother for me.
I'll say hi to your mother.
Oh my god.
Can we do an hour of that? Can we do that?
Oh my god, please.
Yes.
Please.
Please do that for an hour.
I have to say, Mario brings it. I wasn't really
it
ready for the level of commitment that he had, but I was.
I love it.
I was impressed by it. Yeah.
I love it.
What a professional.
I don't know about a brisk, Glenn. There's some training involved. You got to get special scissors. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Briss?
Anyway.
Did he say Briss?
He said Briss.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have the right scissors.
Well, that was by far
the fact that Glenn is bald. There's a Briss joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Thanks, Mom.
Debbie, nice to meet you.
That's my mom.
Unofficially.
That's
Say hi to your mother for me. Well, wait.
Say hi to your mother. Say hi to your mother for me, please.
Hello to your mother, Debbie. Debbie's my mother too. That's my mother's name. Hello, Debbie.
Oh, Mario, you and I are gonna be best friends.
I do voices. I'm literally the best at voices. Okay.
Wow.
There's
Well,
nobody better. I'm
Listen.
the best. I have the best Twitter.
Mario
okay.
Trump.
Everybody follows me. I'm fantastic. Nothing's better. My grammar
Everything's
is the best. Okay.
huge.
It's huge. Okay. My hands, not huge. Everything else, huge. Trust me. Okay. I pulled this country out of a deficit. I am Broncos Twitter. Okay. You're fired.
Boy, all of that just happened.
Hey, Mario, just stay out of my mom's DMs, bro.
All of that just
Yeah,
happened.
Mario.
That's still a work in progress.
Okay.
Like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. We're getting there.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Can we do like a weekly 5-minute segment, 10-minute segment of just
Bro,
impersonations?
I'm telling
Whatever
you.
we could do.
Mario, and I know you told us this story on the podcast, but your background and originally in the media landscape. We got to get you back in, man. We got to get you on more shows this year.
Yeah, you do. Most people do.
Most people
Yeah, so
do.
I was wondering, it's funny because you know you're on Cody's show all the time.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Ever since, Cody made it big time with Sayre,
yeah,
ain't got time for
no more time for
No
Mario.
more. Their show is too serious,
Hey,
and
we
I'm
got
too
you, bro.
dicky.
We got you.
Yeah, and then you made Ben. You got to tell us that story.
I did. Okay, I'll break that down real quick.
Wait, are we talking about his son?
No, he
in a
made
different kind
made
of
Ben
way,
who he
we
is,
are.
Ben Albright. Yeah,
In a different kind of way.
So
I
I
wanna hear
was.
this story
I
from
like
you,
to. I like to think that I was the OG podcaster when I was in college. When I was a super senior at CU, 2012 in Boulder. I had a
senior.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I took a victory
Extra
lap.
years.
I took a victory lap. Boulder was
With
too
that.
fun for just 4 years.
I'm with that.
But I started a blog and podcast called The Sports Pyramid. It's no longer active, but I should see if I still have some of the archives. And one of the guys that really helped me kind of get my start was Vic Lombardi. So I used to play flag football with Vic and his brothers. And so Vic used to have a show on, I think it was 102.3 The Ticket. It was before it turned to ESPN, and it was him and Gary Miller because they were the two sportscasters for CBS4. So I was like the intern, and I had to like have my own microphone, interacted with them and stuff. And so Vic helped me kind of like take off because when I was doing the podcast, nobody knew who I was. Like Twitter wasn't really like nearly as big a thing as it is now. So like you would post stuff on like Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and not a lot of people would listen unless somebody like Vic Lombardi did the show and then retweeted it. And so that kind of got me in that circle of things, and just be like connected with Bronco players. Like I remember I did a show with Julius Thomas before he was like a big time star. Colin Klein when he was like the Heisman candidate with Kansas State. Just a lot of these other guys, like just like not the really, really big names, but just dudes that you would recognize that were good interviews. So I kept trying to like ascend. So I got a job at ESPN Radio after they bought out The Ticket and they kind of were simulcast with ESPN. Lou from Littleton ran the station, and so I was just like a lowly board op. They kept me in the back room, man. And I remember, and I talked to the station manager. His name was Tim Spence. He's the worst human being that I've ever met in my life. And he called me into his office, and he was like, "What are you?
Wait,
what are you trying to get out of this?" And I'm like, I want to have my own radio show. Like, I want to be a sports talk show. He's like, "Well, it's probably not going to happen. But you can try." Dead ass. That's exactly what he said to me. And so, I was still doing the podcasting thing, and I had done a show with Danny Williams over at Mile High Sports. And so he had brought me over there. And I remember as I was over there at the station, I did a show with Danny. He and Marcello Romano had a show, and they had me start doing a weekly segment. And so the first day that I did the weekly segment, it was in the morning, and then I went into work to be, the lowly board op where nobody knew my name. And Tim Spence calls me into his office, and he's like, "So I saw that you did that segment with Mile High Sports." And I was like, "Weird that I did that, but yeah, I did." And he's like, "Well, it's a conflict of interest. You can't do both." And I was like, "Why? Nobody knows who I am here, and you won't put me on air." And he's like, "Well, you can't do both." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to do that since like I actually get to be on air, and I'm not just like pushing two buttons every 15 minutes. And he's like, well, this will be your last shift and then you're done. I was like, oh, you think I'm still going to work today? No. See, you don't fire somebody before their shift and then you think that they work.
Yes.
And I, you know, I wasn't that demonstrative about it. But I was just like, I'm not working today. And he was like, you're going to burn a lot of bridges if you do this. And I'm like, deuces, buddy, I'm out of here. So anyway, I did a show at Mile High Sports. I ended up getting connected with Doug Ottewell, who ran their magazine for the longest time. Awesome guy. Also played flag football with him. Offered me a weekend show just to kind of like get started. I was building my practice at the same time, so I had to do a weekend show. First co-host was Andre Davis, who played most of his career in Cleveland, linebacker, played for the Broncos that year that I think it was in 2009 when they had the AFL celebration, all that deal. He ended up having to take a break because he would take his daughters to basketball and all of that. So I literally put out on Twitter, and I had met Albright briefly, like through Danny and Cello. They did a fantasy football league, and I met Ben super briefly. And I just put out on Twitter, like, hey, looking for a new co-host. Is anybody interested? Not thinking that I would get any like serious people. And again, like at this time I had like 200 followers. Twitter wasn't really like the community that it is now, but I just kind of put it out there. And, you know, Albright reached out to me, and he had 10,000 followers even at that point. This was like 10 years ago. And that was like 1 million followers back then. I'm like, this guy's 10,000 followers? Who is he? I figured he bought him. And so he was like, hey, man, I would be interested. I was like, cool. This guy's got a lot of followers. It looks like he contributes to, like, he was contributing to like Yahoo Sports or something. Didn't really know who he was. And so the first time that Ben and I officially met was like 10 or 15 minutes before our first ever show. And I had done like all the sound and stuff through Audacity, like the intro and everything, and put it all together. And so like first time Ben heard like all of the stuff of the show. The name of the show was right before it. It was called Level Up, playing to like the video game Mario and everything. And so when Ben walks into the door, I'm like, hey man, what's up? Like, nice to officially meet you. He's like, hey man, nice to meet you. And I'm like, this mofo sound like Larry the Cable Guy. Oh my God, what have I gotten into? Because Ben hides it well now. Ben has a radio voice and he's learned it. So he kind of try to sound like this a little bit more. He's got a little bit of a southern twang, but he makes his voice a little bit deeper than he is for the radio. Didn't do that when we first started. Like he had a stronger southern draw. So yeah, the first time that Ben and I like officially met was about 15 minutes before our show. I was legit worried because I thought he sounded like Larry the Cable Guy, and he was super green. He had never really done radio before, and I was like, looks like I'm gonna have to carry it, and then I did. Of course, it was pretty much, and Ben was awesome because it was my show, but Ben was so excellent, and he kind of like allowed me to like highlight myself, and the more that we did it, we would flow really well, and we played off of each other really well. And he bounced around a lot. He had a lot of different co-hosts before Ryan, and every time he had a new co-host, I'd be like, bro, they're not as good as me. You're never going to find a co-host as good as me ever. Nice. And then he got paired with Ryan Edwards, and I'm like, damn, Ryan is so much better than me. But anyway, yeah, Ben and I became really good friends. I was actually the best man at his wedding way back in the day. Awesome. But yeah, and maybe Ben will hear this at some point. He knows our whole story. Ben works harder than anybody in the industry, so I'm not going to be the guy that's like, I made Ben and he would be nowhere without me, but Ben would be nowhere without me.
But at the same time, I'm not going to say that.
Ben would have made a name for himself, like some way or somehow. Like I did theoretically help him get in the door, but man, honest to God, that guy gets so much crap that he doesn't deserve. And I try to tell him to just ignore those people. And, what I tell him, and I'll tell all of you this in case you experience it, when you have trolls reaching out to you, and I've kind of learned this the hard way over the years, it's because they know that they can never ascend to where you are. They can never ascend to your station or get to the point where you are, or they're jealous of what you're doing. And because they could never put in that work and get to that point where you're at, they're going to try and bring you down to where they are and box you there. because they can never ascend to you. So again, like I've learned that the hard way. I've spent way too much time arguing with trolls and idiots that it's like, not to be that guy, but quite frankly, like I know that I'm better than them. So why am I stooping to their level? So I wish that was something that people had told me like a long time ago, because I've spent so much time and effort worrying about like these little things that people say, like they try and get their little jabs in, and I'm just like,
maybe if they put their time and effort into actually doing something
exactly
worthwhile instead of putting shitty comments on people who are working really hard, like.
And I think part of the problem, I think you're right. And part of the problem is I think they're scared. Because if they put forth that effort and they don't make it, if they don't make it to that point, then they're a failure. So if they never put forth that effort where they really try and like rise above their station and make a name for themselves, then they have no one to blame but themselves, right?
Right.
So it's easier to just sit in the background and then you know take your little jabs and make your little comments and try and make other people feel as bad as they do. That's what they try and do, because they already feel really crappy about themselves, and they want each and every one of you to feel as bad as them. So anybody listening, like all of you, just keep that in mind. People are going to try and drag you down, and what you all are doing, this is fantastic. It's such a fun show. You guys do an awesome job, and just keep it up. And you know that you're making it when you get trolls and you get these haters. It's like, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten like a comment about my hoodies, like people talking crap about my hoodies, or like when, some of the Bronco players are getting hurt. It's like, oh, maybe the guy should stop going to see Mile High Mario. Maybe he could just rub their hoodie on. I'm like, bro, if you want a hoodie, like literally all you have to do is ask. Like, I will get you one.
Hey, I want one, but I'll pay for mine. I want one, but I'll pay for mine.
Oh yeah, you said medium. I'm good with that.
Mario, just so you know, my mom loves you already. She's a fan.
Debbie, I love you. I love everybody named Debbie. I love all Debbies because that's my mama. Debbie, Debbie.
Kind of glad that my mom.
Hey.
Not Debbie.
It was not Debbie.
Yeah, right there.
Mario's giving you a new daddy.
Hey, we're not to that point yet, okay?
You might not be Mario is.
Friends, bro. I still have a new stepdad.
This is funny. You can't make everybody happy. You're not a taco. I get that.
This is fact.
I feel that.
That is so true, Angelo.
Not even everybody loves tacos.
Everybody loves tacos.
Hey, Mario, if you ever come to Vegas,
always be that one person who's like, no, I actually don't like tacos, and I'm like,
They're
well,
lying.
I'll have you.
They're lying, Ayla. Don't listen.
It's a front.
There are two different kinds of people. That are people that love tacos and people that lie about it. Okay.
And I will take that liar's taco.
Mario,
Rob, you live in Vegas?
No, I don't live in Vegas. I live an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Vegas. But if you ever come to Vegas, my mom will make you drive to Mesquite, Nevada, and she will cook you food.
Hey man, I will tell you this. So I, as if some of you may know, I traveled to the away games to work on some of the guys. I didn't go to Vegas this year because it was on, the day after Christmas. I'm not about to travel on Christmas for anything.
That's why we lost.
Hey, for the record, I was going to Vegas, and Jared's ass said, "Wait, hold up." And then he was like,
Rob,
"No,
don't
worry
doesn't
about it."
affect the team winning or losing.
Right.
Hey, Rob, when I go next year, hopefully it won't be during like a holiday or whatever. But like when I'm there next year, I'll get there a day early. I'm taking you up on that offer, bro, for sure.
Hey,
We're doing it. Let's do it,
don't
Mario.
play. Don't play. My mom will cook us all food. Whoever comes to Vegas.
Time and place,
So-
dog. You tell me. Tacos.
So me and David went to the game this year. Me and David went to the Vegas game this year. Amazing. Stadium's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I accidentally wore a puffball. It was a weird thing. So next year, I think we're trying to do.
Jared.
We're trying to do Orange Weekly meetup. So if you go to that away game, man, we're gonna keep in contact. We'll get together and have a couple beers.
And hopefully, like I wasn't able to go to any games this year, and I usually do with the road trips. But having a newborn and trying to limit the exposure and all of that. Yeah. So hopefully next year, and I know we said this exact thing last year, but hopefully next year COVID is better.
You're right. Yeah.
And
Clears
hopefully,
out a
like
little more.
I can go because there's a lot of good away games, man. Like I'm really excited about Tennessee. Excited about Jacksonville because those tickets are like $4, and you get to stand on the sideline with like a headset.
With
like
the
this.
headset, yeah. You get to call plays for an extra $5.
Bro, don't play
underwater a little bit.
Hey, don't play.
We should rent out that pool in Jacksonville.
Don't play. My buddy Kevin lives
Orange
in
Weekly pool.
Jacksonville, and he wants me to come to Jacksonville for the game.
Dude, you should. I have really close friends down there too. Like I have every intention of going to that game. The only reason I didn't go this year is because they played like 3 days after my son was born. So definitely couldn't make that trip.
Let's keep in contact. We'll make it happen.
Absolutely, man. And hey, I wanna offer this to all of you as well. First off, does anybody live in Denver?
Colorado Springs.
John and Kevin do.
Colorado. Okay.
Yeah.
So
David and Sean live in the Springs. Kev lives in Denver.
If you guys come down to training camp this next season, let me know. Or if you come into town, DM me and let me know, and I'll try and get you guys like the VIP passes so you don't have to sit out in the sun, with all the peasants. Okay.
Bro, I'm in. Where do I have to sign?
And you just let me know, bro. You don't need to sign anything.
I'll
just let me
sign
know
my
when you're
life
there.
away,
I'll try and get you in the tent. Free waters and Gatorades. You can hang out with the players' wives and girlfriends and stuff.
Nice.
And then and here's the thing that I'll point out. One of the fun things about going into this tent, you can see like the people in the media.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where they sit. So all the people on the fan, okay, I'm gonna expose them really quick.
Do it.
They all sit in the same spot. Okay. So here's the field, right? Here's the practice field. Right next to it, okay, that's the VIP tent. You go up this little walkway, and then as you go around, that's where all the people like are sitting up in the sun, like on the grass, right? The furthest part away from the field, way up in the corner, there's like one tree with a little bit of shade, and all the people from the fan hang out there. And from their vantage point, they can't see shit. So when they're tweeting, especially James Meritwat, when he's tweeting, it's like, well, I noticed this, and I noticed that, and I hate everything because I'm a miserable little prick. He can't see shit. So whatever he's saying, you can take it to the bank that shit ain't actually happening, okay?
Gotcha. These things all make sense.
And then when you all go, I will point out and be like, there sits the twat waffle. You see how he can't see anything that's going on?
Yep.
You see why
I'm
nobody
in.
can take him seriously?
I'm in. 100%. I'm in.
Y'all just let me know. I'll hook it up.
You guys didn't think that the scorching hot takes were going to come in at 2 hours and 40 minutes into the show. But
right.
Here we are,
yes.
Here we are.
This is why you stick around.
This is where we live.
That's a cold take, okay?
I believe
if
that's
there's
100%
anybody
true.
listening that thinks that anything Meritwat tweets is serious, then maybe
now we
you
know he's
shouldn't.
under a little shady tree, twatting some twat shit.
Yeah.
Twatting some tweets.
Out in the shady tweet where
shady
tree.
The shady
shady
little
tree.
Up on the twatter, twatting it.
The shady little twat tree.
How do you go through life just being that miserable?
I don't even know.
There are a lot of lions.
There are a lot of them.
That's true.
I just feel like that's an act. Like it's got to be, right? Like it's got to be like a.
I think there are some people who are just that cynical, though.
It's 100% like he
Jared gets paid for that shit.
But here's the thing, and I will say this: it's not just sour grapes when I talk about this guy, because he was technically in charge of Mile High Sports when I was over there, and he tried to basically rob me of thousands of dollars because you had to pay for your own airtime back then with sponsors and stuff. Long story short, I think it was his mother-in-law that used to run the books and was the person that handled all the finances. And I would get these weird balances like, yo, you haven't paid this balance. I'm like, dog, I don't owe you. So you could take that balance and he tried to extort me for a lot of money.
We're talking about nepotism. Let's talk about nepotism for a second.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm
Jared,
like, your mom runs your
comment.
books, your mother-in-law runs your books. I don't think so, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bad kind of Debbie.
And want to be like you, like he begged me, like after I left with Andre Davis, and I was off the air for a while. Nobody listened to them on the weekend, and they just had like whatever programming. And he and Doug Ottawell, I still have the email somewhere, begged me to come back. And so when James for a while would try and like expose me and say stuff about me, I'm like, bro, you used to beg for me, man. Like. Don't act like that. I'm so much better than you, as are all of you. Okay, Nobody's not better than that, man. We'll just put it that way.
Fair. That's fair.
There you go.
Yeah.
Juicy stuff here on Orange Weekly.
That's right. That's right.
Love it.
Juicy stuff.
It's a way to end the season and end the show. Everyone
Right.
Love it.
Beautiful.
This is good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think we appreciate that, Mario. Thanks for sharing all that stuff with us. I think we're still going around.
We were in the middle of our final thoughts, and then
I love the change.
I love it. That was good.
Here's the funny part: is John once again gets to follow up just the most ridiculous.
That's what I'm here for, guys. That's what I'm here for. I appreciate it, though, because I was going to actually, if you tried to pass it off to me next, I was gonna be like, Mario probably has some shit he actually needs to do. And maybe we should like see if he has some thoughts and like not just be like, okay, bye. Also, Mario's been here this whole freaking time. So I appreciate how long.
I mean, my wife's watching The Bachelor. Isn't that show like 3 hours long?
At least.
It is. My wife is also watching The Bachelor, so we're good.
We still got 15 minutes.
I thought we had a special connection and he went on a date with another girl. Like, yeah, bitch, that's the premise of the whole show.
Yeah, that's why I watch it without the commercials tomorrow.
Every year they're mad. They're like, we're 10 women are dating the same guy. What could go wrong? And then the funniest part of it is like they talk to each other like they become friends, right? But like if you're a girl and you find out that this other girl is dating the guy that you're dating, that's your enemy. But on the show, they're all friends with each other. And then one of them will go on the little private date, right? And she'll come back and they're all buddies. And she'll talk about her private date. And then one that went on a private date with them the other night will come back and be like, well, when I went on my date, it's just like they act like they're talking about two different people. It's like, well, on my date, we did this. On my date, we did that. It's like, y'all talking about the same guy. And then out with both of you. You're not special.
Y'all are Eskimo sisters now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. They're like, I didn't think it would be this hard.
And then every time, Glenn's right. Every time it's like, next on the most dramatic episode ever, and you're like, no, it wasn't. I mean, he makes out with 3 different girls, and they find out like you made out with him too.
You know,
like that's how it works.
This is the part that I love. It's a 22-year-old, 21, 22-year-old girl who's like way too attractive to like even exist, right? And she's like, this is my last chance at love. It's like, bitch, go to a farmer's market. What are you talking about?
Hey, that's why I don't want to have a daughter. If I have a daughter, I'm
gonna have to get off the show and have 100,000 DMs. Like,
my question is how did The Bachelor work with all this COVID bullshit? Like, did everybody have to
I actually watched that. I actually watched that one with my
Was it in
wife.
San Diego?
They had to quarantine, and they had just this area. Like they all kind of stayed in like the same hotel in the same area, and all the dates were kind of like local, where they weren't around people, but they made it work. It was somehow dumber.
An entire place, an entire venue. They quarantine everybody for at least 2 weeks. COVID tests all the time, and then they're allowed to all make out.
Bro,
that was the funny part about it. Yeah, it was like they were like, oh, we rented out this whole entire resort because nobody was going to resorts at the time. So like they had like all their own rooms. They would like isolate and like wipe down everything, but then they would like make out with each other like every episode. Like he'd make out with every single one of them, and you're just like,
the camera crew and everybody still wears masks.
Jared.
Like you guys are still just there with each other. Like,
I got to get on this show.
There.
Wives left.
I gotta get on the show.
Wives
shit!
I think you do very well.
I'm saying,
get me and David on that shit.
David, let me
aren't married.
Send me your video. I'll edit it to perfection, and we'll be good.
The Bachelorette was actually the way that people realized that Aaron Rodgers like wasn't cool with his family, because Aaron Rodgers' brother was on that show,
right?
And then they're trying to make a big deal out of the fact that he's Aaron Rodgers' brother, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, when they say it's like his name and then his occupation, it was like former football player or something. It's like, he wasn't a former football player. He played like Division II football. Get out of here. They're like, oh, they're trying to make a big deal. They're like, oh, you're Aaron Rodgers' brother. It's like, Aaron doesn't really talk to the family. It's like, well, no wonder. Like, look at you. You're on The Bachelorette. Shame on you.
Hey. We might be talking out the other side of our ass when Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback, bro.
I don't care.
I don't think that changes anything.
No,
I
it
don't
sure
care
doesn't.
if he has a fake vaccine card. I don't need to be around him. If that dude wins us a Super Bowl, he could go on the Joe Rogan podcast all he wants for all I care. As long as he's not beating up little kids and his wife.
Or getting massages.
I'm good.
Getting massages from sketchy women. Like, there's a lot of things. As long as he's not doing illegal things.
Go get your treatment from Mario.
If I get one more tweet, like when I post my pictures when I'm on the road trip and everybody's like, oh, is Deshaun Watson there? I've heard the joke. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious. But we've reached double digit times. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a statute of limitations here. He's like,
hey, we're at 0 days.
Yes, he was there. We had a great time.
My tits are not big enough for him. Okay, I guarantee it.
We don't know that. We saw your biceps, which were pretty big.
That's a fair point. That's a fair
point. You might not know the difference.
He was on. I don't know if you listen to that McAfee podcast with Rogers, but he did mention needing some body work. So you got to reach out.
Hey, Mario, make it happen.
New client.
I'm just gonna reach out to him and be like, "You need some ivermectin?"
Yeah.
I don't have any, but he probably doesn't even know what it looks like.
That's
I can
it.
just like draw on Sharpie. It just says ivermectin, like really crudely, like Mike's secret stuff. But it just says ivermectin and bad handwriting.
They just had it in the big, like, squirted in your mouth. Just like get some like vanilla frosting in it.
And then
actually just food coloring.
Yeah, and then the tweet is, "Hey bro, I can fit you in." Like that's it.
Oh my God.
You have a proprietary cure.
Mario, your wife is gonna hate us. She's gonna be like, "You're never allowed to be on them with them ever again."
She texts me and she goes, "I thought they only needed 20 minutes," and I was like, "I'm a hot commodity. I don't know what to tell you."
See what had
happened. Took over Perna's portion.
Hey,
Perna took over some of your time, so
just walk into your wife and go.
We needed to hear more about. We needed to hear more about your plan to lure Aaron Rodgers here with a proprietary COVID toe treatment that only you have.
Yes.
That's gonna be
COVID.
Yeah, I'm actually really good with feet, so
there we go.
There it is.
I guess he is on Twitter, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, he tweets.
We just got to start flooding. They're like, just be like, Aaron, come to Denver. Mile High Mario get you right. Okay?
Got you back.
Got you, bro.
Gonna fix
He
it
knows
up.
where to inject the ivermectin.
Yeah, he'll fit you in.
He's got it.
John, I think the floor.
Yeah, I think we can
yours.
give the floor back
to you, John.
I had like a whole point like a freaking hour ago about how I was really happy for Mario being here and that I knew that Pterodactyl's wingspan could be 36 feet in total.
How's your dinner?
That would have been my send-off.
How's your mother?
Yeah, we'll keep it at that. Jesus, it's been the longest freaking thing ever. Yeah, Pterodactyl's 36 feet in total. If possible.
Beautiful. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, Jared, go first.
Yeah, Kev, I don't know if we're ever going to get to you with your internet connection. But I will say this. From both me and Kev, again, Mario, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on. What's that?
It's the COVID that's
It's the COVID that's slowing his internet connection down. Yeah, he's
look how bad he looks. It's the COVID.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Kev, if you get vaccinated, you get 5G. Fix it right up, bro.
Yeah. Super
quick. Special.
And a pretty awful U2 album. So.
Why do you think?
Wait, what happened to the Aerosmith tapes?
He destroyed them in his Perna destroyed them in his garage. So, no, but like honestly, from me and Kev, and I know he echoes this comment. Thanks everybody for watching. At this point, we're almost 3 hours in. We still have a lot of followers. Thank you, Mario, for coming on. and all the guests. Look, we've been doing this for 6 years, and we started in me and Kevin's. So for the record, also, when Kevin moved to Florida, he kept his house at 60 degrees, which for Florida weather in the summer is fucking cold. I wore so many sweaters to his house when we did Orange Weekly, when we first started Orange Weekly, and it's just amazing where we're at. Perna really kind of pushed us to where we are and gave us the advice and all the assistance that we've gotten to this point, and we have a lot more to come, and we're not giving up, and we're not going anywhere, which is amazing, and I love it. I love all the fans. Thank you guys so much for everything. Hopefully, for those of you that won stuff, appreciate it. We have a lot more coming this next year. We have a big off season. David mentioned it. Look, new owner, new head coach, possibly new quarterback. Huge changes with new staff, new cold coaching staff. George Payton in his second year, and I think after the first year, I think we can really all collectively say he fucking crushed it. So I think that's the biggest excitement going into next year and what we have for going forward. So appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to be here for the long run, whether you like it or not. And again, Mario, I appreciate you coming on. Again, we're going to get you on for more. We are. We're going to get you on for more. You know what's funny, Mario, and correct me if I'm wrong. During the season, both me and David, when we do the podcast bookings, we're thinking about it. We're like, man, those guys just seem so busy. Like, they just have stuff going on all the time. Like,
yeah, I am busy.
Yeah.
I'll still do
that.
it.
Was that a low key? Like, I'm too busy for you.
No. It's like if we hit you up like one Thursday a year, like we can get you for one Thursday a year, like 2 Thursdays a year, just to get you on the show to see how you felt like about a game.
Thursdays are easy for me typically because that's like my day off from like the office. That's like my one day off during the season. So
perfect. Put it in the calendar.
Or like
BS is Thursday nights at 7:00.
Yeah, let me get that.
Or during the season, like if it's a road game, like if you guys were to record on like a Saturday, kind of like early on a Saturday, like do a game preview or something like that, I could do that too.
Oh, see.
Would love it. We'll reach out to you. We appreciate it.
So Jared hit you first with 1 or 2 weeks a year. I'm going to come back with 16 to 17 weeks a year. How do you feel about where
permanent co-host on the Orange Weekly Preview podcast?
I'm saying if y'all really want to take off as much Mario as possible.
Okay.
No,
all right.
This is true. No, honestly, I love doing stuff like this. I mean, that was why I wanted to do it while I was in college. That's why I started doing podcasts. That's why I pushed so hard to have a show and stuff like that. So I just really enjoy talking sports. And, you know, part of my whole thing is just like, I'm so blessed to be able to be well connected and to be able to talk to the players and you know, guys that are in it. And part of that, it's one of those, like, with great power comes great responsibility, right? Like, I feel the responsibility to, like, give people, like, good information, pertinent information, and correct information. Because there's so much crap that you have to sift through, right? There's so much nonsense. There's so many people that act like they're experts and they tell you that they're experts and they have absolutely no idea what's going on. And I'll never claim to really be an expert at anything. I'm just going to try and be entertaining, but I'm also going to try and give you like actually good information. And I'm not just going to like pull stuff out of nowhere or throw shit against the wall that I hope that it sticks. So no, like, honestly, I really appreciate y'all having me. Anytime that I can make time, I would absolutely love to be on. Like I said, it's such a blast for me. I've always loved to do it. Like when I make house calls late at night during the season, sometimes I turn my radio off because nothing good is on, and I will just do my own show because that's how much I love to. Like I will talk to myself alone in my car just to be like, you know what? I want to hear what I have to say. I'm like, what does Mario have to say about this topic?
Hey,
so
Mario,
that's how we started.
You know?
That's how we started.
That's really how it starts, right? It's just like you realize that you can have a conversation. And it's just like, I feel like people would want to hear this.
Yeah, but we still have people watching this right now. Like, yeah.
And we did this. And we did this back in the day when we started. Me and Kev started this both. So me, John, and Kev both served, or all served. I'm currently active, and we started out. It was like, man, we all live away from Denver. And are you not?
Yeah, John. I think he is saying he's better than you.
Well, I'm still active. I am saying that I'm better than you because I'm still active because this thing happens. Anyway, so we started this back then. We all moved to different states and different countries. We're like, man, it sucks not being with like-minded people. Like in Denver and Colorado Springs, like you walk around, you could go to the bar and talk football with somebody with talk Broncos, but you couldn't do that when you're in Pensacola, Florida. Unless you had a couple people that you were talking to, and we just kind of got on Facebook and was like, who wants to talk to us? And that's kind of where we got to the point where we are. And yeah, definitely appreciate you, Mario. And again, the Bourbon Broncos No BS was our Tuesday shows. It started off as like we're sick and tired of this clickbait shit. Like, let's just talk what's real. Like, we don't know. Like, none of us here are experts. None of us are here. Like you, again, having you on is amazing because you are closer to the players and some of the staff and what's happening at Dove Valley more than the rest of us. And we just want to talk about Broncos, like no bullshit takes. Like, hey, this person didn't play well, but I think he's still a good player. This person did this person did that, and that's who we are. We drink and have a good time, and I think that's what most of Broncos country needs to do and get off their high horse of. And maybe this is drunk Jared speaking, but like get off the high horse of like I know better than you. Because my opinion matters more than you, and like fuck off, dude. Like nobody knows, and guess what? I'm gonna be with the Broncos. I'm gonna stick with the Broncos. No matter who we hire, our coach, I'm gonna support them. No matter who we get as a quarterback, I'm gonna support them. No matter who's the starter, who's the backup, we're gonna support them.
That's a real fan. That's what it should be, and it shouldn't, like you said, it shouldn't be all this clickbait nonsense where it's just like we hate everything, and here are all the articles about why you should hate it too. And then people are going to click it because they like things that make them mad. So that's it. But again, I love you all. Thank you all so much for having me on. I don't want to like cut you off or anything, but it's 10 o'clock and I got to go get my dad duty on. But I really appreciate y'all.
Mario.
Yeah.
Who wins the Super Bowl? Are you rooting for the Rams?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Vaughn get another one. I would love to see the Bengals just because I don't think they've ever won one, right? And they haven't even been to the AFC Championship game since like the year I was born. So, dude, literally anybody but the Chiefs, for fuck's sake. I hate that team so freaking much. Anybody but them. I don't care who it is. God, no.
Bengals Rams Super Bowl will be the best.
Hey, thank you so much for joining, and I will be in contact with you. I sent you my phone number, and we'll definitely get together for sure. And if you're serious about that training camp, bro, I will.
Every
fly
one
out.
of you, just hit me up. You guys let me know when you want to come out. I'll make it happen. Don't worry about that.
We love
it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, man.
I'll be there.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all again so much. Anytime, just let me know, and I'll do my best to come on. Okay. I love y'all.
Thanks,
God bless.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you,
Mario. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
Mario.
Awesome. And then for as much as I can cut through my crappy internet, I know I'll just end it with again, thanks to all of our fans, but to you guys, the co-hosts, and the Orange Weekly wouldn't be anything without all of you guys. So thank you, and love you all.
Love you too, man.
Love you, Kev.
That 8-bit love was amazing. We feel it.
Okay, with that, we'll talk to y'all soon, and we'll end it as we always do.
Go Broncos!
Go Broncos!
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.